Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's not like directly centered, but you gotta cut it anyways, right?
As long as there's like space.
I mean, you're centered, but like normally I get that like blue in the center, but that's all right.
All right. I figured we would open up some of these packages doing pickups, fam. All right, let's do this. Ready, George? Recording.
Make sure I got my list. Yep.
Say something?
Hello, we are the best podcast in the world. Not only shoes, but all of them.
Turn mine down a bit.
Good Lord, look how wide that is. Pause.
I don't know why intern man did that. I'm like, can you see?
No, I mean how the voice.
Oh, yeah. See, I don't know why
like
mine.
a heartbeat, no?
Yeah, so got an EKG. Hello. Yeah, mine is way loud. But your volume's louder than mine. It doesn't matter. I equalize it. They call me the equalizer.
I think you talk louder than I do, unless I'm yelling.
I project my voice. It's a gift.
You try to project your feelings on other people. That's what you try to do. Chicago ones being 1,500, one, whatever they are, over 1,000 makes me angry.
Why?
Fam. That price is insane.
I do agree with you. Push that chair out of the thing.
This is in it?
Yeah. All right. Let's do this. Yo, Think This Podcast, episode 220, fam. We at 220 from 200. That's fire. George, Greg, back in the building. Ayy. George is wearing the lemonade hat today, fam. Somebody was like, dang, boy, George couldn't even throw that lemonade on when y'all first got
SOHC.
When they
know what that means.
They got freshly delivered, I said.
Well, I think multiple people said that. I had never worn the teal color one, so I was like, why would I change?
Shout out to everybody who likes, subscribe, listen to this podcast.
I've bought so much stuff from Hat Club. I don't need to show on one show that respect. I've spent so much money with them cats. Now, the money I spent isn't through my own account. It's through Simple's account. But still, I just bought another one the other day. I bought the glow-in-the-dark one. I don't know why I bought it either.
Oh, I didn't even try.
Now, I'm glad. I mean, assuming
you said
the confirmation went through. So
yeah, see, that's why I didn't move, because I was like, I need the Dodgers to get into the World Series first before I make any more moves.
Did you start the show already?
Yeah. Oh. I started. You should have been paying attention.
And you said you're going to stop that at some point?
Probably like around before we talk about sports.
Not the cameras?
Yeah, not the cameras. Probably right when we talk about sports. I'm wearing an Astros jersey because I lost a bet, for the record. All right, but I'm still wearing my Dodgers hat because the Dodgers are in the World Series and we're going to win the World Series this year. I'm wearing this Astros jersey because I lost a bet to Curtis over the Lakers Heat game. I wanted the Lakers to win, but I picked the Heat to win because I had to ride my hand of picking them to go to the finals. So I told him, Curtis said, yo, you got to wear an Astros hat. You got to buy Astros hat. I was like, damn. And this is how you know you have a problem with buying way too much stuff in the past, because he said, yo, you got to buy an Astros hat to wear. And I said, I probably got a few DS Astro jerseys laying around. I got 4 brand new Astro jerseys. This is, I took the tags off this. This is the Bagwell. I have a Nolan, I have a Biggio, and I have a OG Astro batting. This is the batting practice. I got a game Astro Nolan Ryan. I got a game.
When are these from?
That's a long time ago, fam. Like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe.
Just had Andrew loan you one.
And, well, I had told Andrew, I said, I'm going to give him all these Astro jerseys, because I said, and he wanted me to wear Astros because I said I would never wear Astro stuff again. Not because they cheated, but because they cheated against the Dodgers. That's why. I don't care about the cheating.
Interesting.
That's it. But that's why I'm not going to wear any teams who beat the Dodgers in the World Series. I'm not wearing the Nationals, and some of them National hats are fire. Some of the Astro hats are fire.
Fam, the best Nationals hat is literally the one Manor made. I mean, that's like not saying very... Now, if you go back in time, like Washington Senators, I don't know if they would consider that part of the same franchise. Obviously, Expos, right? Is that who it was?
Yeah, I think it was Expos. Yeah,
now, obviously,
Expos.
Expo stuff is fire. But Washington Nationals is a Walgreens logo. Like, and their history of just that franchise ain't long enough to be...
Either way, the hats are fire. Some of the hats are fire. So I'm wearing an Astros jersey. You will never see me wear another Astros product ever again. And I'm not making any more bets with anybody anymore. You know how many people wanted to make bets with the Cowboys Cardinals last night? I'd be out here probably butt naked in the streets if I made any bets. I always get on you about being the worst better on earth. You might be the worst better with actual currency.
Yeah, you're the worst. No, I have the worst luck in the world. You are the best, like, making friendly bets with other people, but you put higher stakes than you should.
Way higher stakes. Now, this right here, somebody was like, man, your dignity. Don't be ridiculous, all right? This is Astros jersey. Real quick, I wanted to say something real quick about this facial moisturizer. Viking Revolution facial moisturizer. They sent me this about 3 weeks ago. It's in camera. 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
okay?
Whenever you do that, you just got to put your hand to cover your face because it's trying to zoom in on your face. Just put your hand next to it like this.
Like this?
Like this, so it's like blocking. No, man, like this. Like if you showing it, like go like that, and it blocks your face. They can't see it.
Fam, what's up, man? Is it good?
Just put your hand next to it. Look, man, and then it'll zoom on that.
I'm gonna go ahead and put a picture on the thing. Look, they sent me this about 3 weeks ago. All right, and they asked me would I make a post on social media about it if they sent it to me. And I said, yeah, sure. But I said, you know what? I'm not, because I want to try it first. Been working for 3 weeks. We're always on video on camera. Works good. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's the greatest thing on earth. Smells good, and you don't gotta. It takes a little bit, goes a long way. That's why I like it. It's on Amazon. It's affordable. Viking Revolution. Buy it if you want to. All right.
Yes, it's from Norway.
I think it's. I think it's really good. It's really good, and I might buy it again once I run out. Man, fam. I'm gonna tell you this one thing about it. It comes with a lot. Like this is a full bottle size. You go to like anywhere else and look for facial moisturizer for men. Stuff is expensive and it comes in small containers and it goes away quickly. Most of it is in like things like this big. This is a bottle, like it's a good size. So I appreciate them sending this. I wanted to make sure that I let them know. Ain't no code, all right? It is what it is, man. I like it. Shout out to them.
Hey.
George, you wanna do pickups?
Sure.
Do you wanna open boxes first?
Yeah, we can do that.
We do got some boxes. Shout out to, I don't know how to put this because we were told like, oh, this is our yearly gift. That's how I was told to put it.
I mean, is the tape already cut off?
I already cut the tape because I hate watching people who do videos and stuff.
With tape?
Yo, fam, you can cut the tape and just don't look in the box. So I cut the tape, don't look at the box, we're not struggling. So actually, I'm gonna read this one first, all right? And before we get to those ones, this is from David Blackman from Ivy Brand. Shout out to him. I got the package and I started opening it and I read the card and I was like, you know, I'm gonna save this for the podcast because it was really nice of him. Shout out to Ivy Brand. It says, what up, Greg? As a big voice in the sneaker streetwear community, you know how impactful black and brown members can be. That same energy should be seen in all areas of your community, which is why I had to hit you and George to help spread the important message about voting. Our communities have historically been the most influent. I think it says influent.
Influential?
Maybe it says influential. I can't even tell. Oh, reluctant. Sorry, reluctant. Man, he lives in Connecticut. Fam, his handwriting looks like he wrote the Constitution. Like, this looks like he wrote it with a feather and an ink like that. Have been most reluctant.
Back east
has been most reluctant to show up every election. With the needs. We all see change is possible when we show up and make our voices. Enjoy, David. Make our voices heard. Enjoy, David. Shout out to David, man. David is a super smart dude. He used to always get on us because he said we gave Rico a very hard time when Rico would always talk about New Balances and Sauconys. And I said,
oh, yeah. That's his running mate in terms of non-Nike Adidas.
This is presidential running mate.
Fam, listen. Ricardo is irrational Nike Adidas hater. I understand what he's saying about not liking something specifically because it's Nike or Adidas, but he does the opposite. He hates it specifically because it's that, as opposed to just like if the masses like something. And okay, again, we're not talking politics here or whatever. We're just talking about goods that don't matter, shirts, shoes, whatever. If the masses like something, just admit the masses like it, and it's probably okay. If the masses hate something and you like it, that's fine. You could just be like, I know everybody hates this, but I like it. Like he did, I'm sure Bad Bunny shoe. Was it Bad Bunny? Who got that shoe? Oh, J Balvin?
J Balvin.
Damn, that shoe sucks.
I don't even know the difference between J Balvin and J Bunny. Or Bad Bunny.
He was on here talking about he likes that shoe, but has said all the stuff he don't like when it comes to Nike and stuff. Fam, come on. You just... If you're going to say, like, I don't like stuff just because it's Nike and Adidas, then don't hate it just because it's Nike and Adidas. Like, take your own advice. That's it.
Shout out to David Blyman. Shout out to Ivy Brand. Like I appreciate him sending this shirt to vote. And I mean, people have asked me too. Like I'm voting Biden Harris. I don't like this political thing.
I already turned my ballot in 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I turned mine in too. Already mailed it in. And I'm not making it a political thing, but I kind of got into it.
Well, we're going to talk about this because, and the only reason we're going to talk about it is because of Ice Cube and I was about to say DMX, not DMX, 50 Cent, and Budden podcast talked about it. So I think we should talk about it a little bit.
And I had got into like a little conversation, and we don't set up a political podcast, and we're not going to make a big deal about this and a big, super huge discussion about this, but the whole thing with I was talking to this guy, he's a Jets fan, not Rico, and he was just losing his mind. It's somebody I know. Me and him have conversations all the time, and it's always healthy conversations. Like, I don't get mad, he don't get mad, we're homies. And, he's just losing his mind to fire Gase. I'm talking, he can't even contain himself. And at the same time, when every opportunity he can, yelling Trump 2020. And I said, and he's like, the reasons why Gase, leadership, he doesn't this and that. I'm like, fam, you can't yell Trump 2020 and say why Gase should be fired. Gase has been there 1 year. And I said, I'm just going to break this down. I'm not going to talk about policy and stuff like that. I understand policies. A lot of policies that do go forward and stuff like that typically aren't major things that I personally have issues with in my life. I go back and look at things like, George Bush Jr. and stuff and what he's done for the black community and stuff like that. I wouldn't have a direct effect of that because I'm not in the position of the people that have been helped for that. But like I always say, I vote for other people who could benefit from the policies and stuff that could be implemented in place. Now, when people are campaigning and stuff like that, their policies, I don't put much stake into it because I'm like, you know what? You can tell me all you want to get my vote and you get in that office and whatever. My whole thing is that if you tell me you're going to do something or try to do something and it doesn't happen, if you go to Congress, to Senate, whomever to try to get this stuff passed and happen, and they say no, I want you to come back to me and tell me why it didn't. I have to be able to trust you. Now, the whole thing, what I said with Geist and stuff like that, to me, America, we're a team. This is our country. We're a team. If another one of the teams, other countries start wilding out as a team, we going to go in on them. Our head coach has been here 4 years, all right? He's an awful leader. Contrary to what you believe, he's an awful leader and things like that. And then my friend, he got back at me. He's like, well, it started with Obama. You know what? I don't believe that. But if you believe that, well, when the new head coach got hired for the new 4 years, it hasn't gotten better. It's worse. So, it's time for a new head coach. Don't sit here and scream about the Jets 1 year, man. He's been there since 2019, but you're going to sit here and ride for somebody who has shown poor leadership. If the country's in shambles, it at least feels good to follow somebody who can speak clearly, make sense, understand, and make you feel like, you know what? Things are going to get better. I've never had that feeling whatsoever. My kids start school full-time, Monday through Friday this week, and it's a little nerve-wracking because, I still see people saying, well, I got to get out of 2020. Fam, it's going to be here 2021. Don't act like this is a 2020 thing. That's it. And that's why I'm telling people who I'm voting for.
On that note, I think it's, the vaccine will be early 2021, so they just want to get out of this calendar year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get it. It's not like I'm not. Don't put much stake into that, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
And that's why I'm saying, and I want to make sure we do use our platform. It's important for me to say that. And like I said this first year Trump, second year Trump. Trump could do the greatest things for America for all I know, but his leadership, his actions, what he does and doesn't do is so much louder than what he might be doing or have done behind the scenes. It will never matter. There's a lot I go back and I think about when I was in D.C. working and George Bush was there at the time. And even though at that time everyone thought it was a complete moron, which he was a lot of times, he was still somebody that was highly respected. I couldn't wait to meet him, shake his hand. I couldn't. Beside the point. And then you go back and look at some of the stuff that George Bush had done in the past. You're like, dang, I didn't know that. Oh, shoot, I had no idea. That's cool. I didn't know it. I have no desire. Historically, this is an embarrassment to the country. To me, I'm reading reports. I'm literally reading articles and reports how China is back. It's thriving. I seen some cats in China out there, partying. And I'm thinking to myself, but you're here calling it the China flu. No, this is the American flu now. We the only ones out here looking goofy still. Like, I'm like, the place where it originated, they out there back in the clubs. I saw pool parties. It was cracking. Fam, there are people that we know that have sent their families back to China and all these Asian countries because it's safer there. Either way, like I said, I made my vote. Is it the right vote? Who knows? Is it the wrong vote? I don't know. But I'm telling you what I'm doing, and that's it. So vote for whoever you like to. I just don't like the people screaming, "Go vote!" Who you voting for? Who you voting for? Like, go vote. No, don't vote for the wrong. Don't vote for the wrong person this time. You know, the experiment was fun. It was funny at times. It had its moments. All right, it was cool. I get it. I mean, the man was on there talking about, oh, maybe I'm a superhero. How do you hide, man? But like I said, do your thing. Appreciate you, David. Everybody, do go vote. I mean, people, especially minorities, women, stuff like that, people fought the rights for this. Minorities and women haven't only been allowed to vote for like the last, 60 years?
Women 100, but
women 100,
not
minorities.
Not minority
yeah,
women, just
women,
white women.
100. Minorities.
No, serious.
60 years. Yeah, I know. It's just funny. And 60 years. So take advantage of it. Like, and I get why you think. I mean, what's crazy is even if Trump wins again, it's just gonna make everybody oh my, like, why? It's gonna make you feel like, why do it again? But that's neither here nor there.
So, I mean, yeah, just in voting in general, I encourage people to vote. Now, obviously, I would also encourage them to do their research before they vote, but I've said this on the show a million times. I don't care who you vote for, and I'm never going to stand on a soapbox and shout at you.
Never.
I will have a conversation with you where I might have a stern point, and if you have a point back, I'm not going to interrupt you. I'll let you get your point out, whatever. Anyways, what I want to talk about was, and again, Joe Budden commented on his show, you know, not just him, the cast, the Ice Cube thing, and now 50 Cent. So reason why I think it's important on this show is because we do pop culture, hip hop, whatever else, every once in a while. You know what I mean? Right. We do sports, mainly as sneakers and fashion, but we do sports and pop culture stuff. So I think what Budden said is very important. He made salient points about what Ice Cube was trying to do. He supports anyone, whether it be a celebrity, whatever, putting their own plan together, trying to put their own group together, and get through to politicians on both sides. Because people forget, you have local politicians, you have state politicians, and then federal politicians. So there are a lot of different ways you can go about trying to get something on the ballot, an initiative passed, whatever the case may be, to help, in this case, your people, obviously Ice Cube, trying to help black folks. So Budden's point basically was what I said to you in a text thread, is like, now granted, we don't know if Ice Cube first brought this to them months ago and it just came out now. But my impression is like, fam, you just brought this out 3 weeks before the election, and then you put the news story out, or either that or co-signed it, that the Democrats didn't want to work with you. But here's the thing. The federal Democrats are not in power right now. So them saying, yo, wait till this election happens. Yeah. If we win, then we can help. If they don't win, they can't help.
Right.
They don't have the resources to help you make this plan right now. It's 3 weeks before an election. So to me, it's a little short-sighted for somebody to get upset that the party doesn't want to work with you, or at least put that message out when you're 3 weeks from trying to win an election. And the presidential election is the most important overall election in U.S. politics. You know, we have elections every 2 years, the House and the federal level, obviously a lot of local stuff. But it just makes no sense that, to me, that you're trying to do it on that short term. Now, and the other point that he made and that I made to you is, of course the Republicans are reaching out to you. Fam, they're down 10 points in the polls. They're trying to do anything they can to come back in 3 weeks. This shit is chess. It's not checkers. Like, they use you as a pawn.
Yes, that's exactly
to get a message out, either to your people that you don't want them to vote, or you want them to vote for the other side, or whatever. So my problem is not that. My problem is not an aisle issue where it's one aisle over the other aisle. My problem is just that, number one, you did it with 3 weeks remaining. Timing. And number two, you let a campaign use you as propaganda. So, again, I'll go back to what I said at the very beginning. Go to your local politicians first. then go to your state politicians, then go to your federal politicians, or go to them all at the same time by sending the documentation to all of them. Because blaming Biden and Kamala for something that maybe you could solve on the local or state level, to me, is a waste of time and foolish. You know what I mean? Like, if you go to your local and state politicians and they brush you off, then you got a point like, yo, the change in L.A., my local politicians are brushing me off. That's a much bigger story to me. Bigger story. To me, at least.
Way bigger story
than the federal politicians, just because the federal politicians are so many levels higher that, like, anything Trump, Biden do, by the time it gets down to the neighborhood, is not going to be that effective anyways. So I think with the vote encouragement thing is just that, keep in mind when you do a ballot, it's not just the president. You have all the local initiatives, number one, or state initiatives. We have both on our ballot in Arcadia, Scottsdale, whatever.
Well, we do. I don't know about.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure most people do. You have school board administrators, superintendent or whatever. You have judges. If you know about bad stuff about judges, that they've had cases that violate civil rights, vote no.
Right.
If you have judges where you know they've done well, vote yes. And then state politicians, which includes the state house and the state senators. And then by state, I mean, like, we live in Arizona, so Arizona House and Arizona Senate. And then national Senate, national House, and president. So you can affect change by more than just attacking the presidential candidate that you hate. And so my thing with Cube is, like, I'm glad people are reaching out. I think he went about it the wrong way in terms of allowing someone to play him as a pawn. And then also the timing. Like, fam, it's 3 weeks before an election. Now, maybe you started this 6 months ago, but why didn't you talk about it back then? And the other thing is going to this is something that Budden mentioned for certain that I didn't even think about when I was talking to you is, fam, Trump was in office for 4 years and did nothing for you. Right. You think all of a sudden he's going to be telling you the truth, like he wants to shake hands with you and work with you now that he's behind by 10 points? Of course he's going to tell you that. But then if he gets reelected, you think he's going to follow through on it?
Yeah, and it's just regular comments and stuff. And I don't want anybody. There's listeners that listen to this podcast that are pro.
There's a lot. Listen, like one of the weirdest things to me, and I will again, my brother-in-law is about as big a Trump supporter as you can be. I have family members who love Trump. I am not trying to convince you to love who I love, do what I do. It makes no sense to me that people in the sneaker community and hip-hop community are severe right-wing people. But hey, knock yourself out, man.
See, and it always blew my mind seeing that type of stuff too. But then I was like, I always look at it like, maybe sneakers something they just got into. Like, I feel like if you've been into it for like so long, then it seems crazy. But like, sneakers is a hobby and a genre that, like, they might have been super for this way before they got into that. But yeah, it is weird within itself. And like I said, this is not anybody attacking anybody who is for the Republican Party, Democratic Party, nothing like that. It's just having a platform and stating this. Like I said, shout out to David Blackman for sending the vote shirt.
Yeah, and my thing wasn't even to talk about politics specifically. It was specifically to talk about Ice Cube.
Right.
And then 50 Cent I didn't even mention, but like 50 Cent I just kind of took like he's a thought. He had the fight with Floyd Mayweather all over social media. He made a post immediately after he realized that went viral. He made a post saying, "I'm poor, send me money." Like, fam, you can't take nothing he's doing seriously. All right. And all these people are rich. Don't be surprised if you're not okay. So if you're not someone who makes over $400,000 a year, don't think like someone who makes $400,000 a year. You should never ever think like a rich person. There are a reason why the 1%ers don't want the tax thing to pass, because they get a break. So 50 Cent is worth whatever he's worth, multiple hundreds of millions of dollars or multiple millions or whatever it is. Of course, he don't want to pay more in taxes. It makes sense. But for someone who doesn't make $400,000 and may potentially get a lot of benefits off that extra tax, whether it be roads, firefighters, schools, law enforcement, whatever it be, because that tax dollar goes to pay for all those things. I mean, we have infrastructure problems in this country like we've never had before. Bridges are old, roads are old, things are falling apart. Those tax dollars pay for that kind of stuff. And that's another thing with like the state of Arizona, at least. I'm for recreational marijuana, not so I can use it. It's
Right.
for the tax incentive. You tax marijuana sales, that's more money for education. That affects everyone too. Any parent who has their kids going to public school, whether you be a Republican, Democrat, whatever, that money is going for education, infrastructure, public safety. All those things help people. So I don't understand, like, if it's a religious issue and you absolutely can't stand seeing somebody smoking marijuana on the street, fine, whatever, knock yourself out. But these things benefit you. So educate yourself.
Even on those, like, you had to, like, really read into that when you voted, because it even stated, I believe, like, lesser sentences and stuff for people who've been, like...
Yeah, that's another part
of
it.
There's major layers to it.
That's because Arizona, it's different in different states,
right,
but Arizona, one little speck is a felony.
Right.
Which to me is an egregious overcharge of...
And, I mean, we're from California. I mean, first, we've been everywhere. Like, people are doing it anyways. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like...
I mean, it's legal in Nevada. It's legal in California. It's legal in all the states around us, unless, I guess, if you go east, it's not legal in Texas, but...
Like, there's certain things that,
it's
like...
legal in Colorado. Colorado's maybe not connected to us, but not very far. Like, maybe far. Just ahead up top of Utah.
And, like George said, it's understanding your local, state levels and stuff like that, and voting, and understand, like, what you're doing and voting for. Like, a lot of people are just, as this keeps getting closer and closer, I seen, like, your Facebook post, like, about, like, it was something you had posted a long time ago.
2012.
Long time ago.
I just reshared it.
And it's like, you know what?
And I never post on Facebook either, so I was just like, I saw it popped up on my thing, was like the anniversary of this, and I was like, oh, you know what? Let me just share this.
I just honestly feel like it should be against all government rules and regulations for people who hold or have held, maybe not held, but like positions of power to be on social media and Twitter and stuff like that. Like, seeing the president on Twitter talking and seeing these, I'm just like, what is going on?
So there's one thing you talked about earlier when you were talking about Bush, because I remember that was back when I was in college and 9/11 happened and whatnot.
Right.
So I'm young at the time. I was older when I was in college, so I still was like 24 when I graduated as opposed to 21 or whatever. But, when his presidency ended, you're of the impression like, oh, he was the worst president of all time. And at that point in my lifetime, he was. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So you were talking earlier just about normalcy of the office of the president. So you could disagree on policy with George Bush, 80 million bazillion things he did. But you know what? He treated the office of the presidency with dignity and respect. Facts. Because that's what is to be expected. So the number of things that, and again, my goal on this show is not to pile on anyone politically. Again, we know people who listen to the show who are big Trump fans.
No big deal.
So I'm not trying to pile on him or you guys or whatever, but one of the craziest things about Trump is just how he completely 180 degrees the respect of the office of the President of the United States. There are some tweets that I sent out to my friends and I said, can you picture like Ronald Reagan tweeting this or George W. Bush tweeting this? I mean, it's insane. Some of this. Now, granted, that Twitter wasn't around and that wasn't the point, but it just was like, can you see those guys saying this to the national public? Some of the tweets he was sending out. And it wasn't even like conspiracy stuff. It was like literally like he retweeted something, I think, that said, go fuck yourself, Biden, or something like that. Like, can you see George W. Bush sending something out that says, go fuck yourself, John Kerry, or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, fam, are you kidding me?
Look, man, that's why.
And then, he did the thing where he was like, it's a retweet. It's not an endorsement. Like,
when I say,
come on, man, you the president.
When I said, like, the leadership, like a head coach, just the leadership, the stuff like that. Like, man, I understand things can get bad and the world is changing. I mean, literally in seconds, like every single, all the time. But like, somebody had made this video of like, whether you like Obama or not, this is not an Obama-Trump thing, but like the dignity and respect, the understanding, like, man, the leadership, the like, man, what the hope, the like stuff like that. I look at this Trump and I watch the town hall thing, I'm watching something and he's on there mad that the Iowa News was talking about the floods in Iowa and not talking about him being nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. Fam, there got floods in Iowa. The news is reporting.
The local issue is more important.
What are you talking about, man? Like, that's the whole thing. When I was in D.C., fam, like you said, I'm talking, everybody hated George Bush. I mean, it was like, this guy is
D.C. Well, D.C. is known for being like, 80% blue or whatever. So,
well, I meant like...
Right,
but here, everywhere. Yeah.
So then, like,
but like when we was there, we went to Arlington Cemetery, we went to Virginia, hear him speak. I couldn't wait to shake his hand because it was a respect and understanding of like the position and how important it is and stuff like that. I've never looked at George Bush, and younger then, I guess. I mean, I was about 21, 22, 23, whatever. I never thought at any point George Bush was disrespectful.
A clown.
Never, ever thought that.
He was never a clown. He just was someone you disagreed with on policy.
Right. Never.
And that's
thought
probably
that.
part of it. Is the funniest thing with Kanye too is like when he said the George Bush with black people comment, and then you turn around and you're like a Trump person.
Crazy.
I mean,
I feel like that entire period in time, that little moment in time, should just be expunged. It doesn't even count anymore. To me.
We're just in the Twilight Zone in general right now.
Right.
To me.
Oh no, we're in the Twilight Zone. This is a weird time. That little moment in clip was like, and granted, at that period of time, we all felt a certain way about him. Katrina had happened. And we were talking about Katrina at the moment. And so it was like, yeah, Kanye. And then now it's like you said about the rich. People need to stop thinking that they can relate to the rich. You can't relate to them. I see people like, man, 50 facts, 50. No, that's why I've said on this podcast, every single time, I don't care what these celebrities be on TV saying because they are filthy rich. When you get in that box and you vote, man, you could get on TV and act like you're for the people all you want. No, he's... You get in there and you say, man, I make well over $400,000 a year. Trump. You can vote whoever you want, and we would never know. I will never know who Kanye, Kim, Ellen, all these people, 50. I will never know who they voted for.
With respect to Kanye, like, I don't know if Kanye's thing is a financial thing or like this newfound Jesus thing he's on or whatever, but like, well, because Trump, I mean, I'm not going to badmouth Trump no more, but clearly the connection is can't be Jesus. But, but. Yeah, I don't understand Kanye's angle if it's like, obviously narcissism is number one, but I don't know if their connection is like financial or what, because Kanye is definitely on a new like religious tangent, and I don't see Trump as being the connecting tissue or issue or whatever you want to use for that. So the Kanye thing is weird to me. Like maybe they were buddies before or something, and they're like, hey, fist bump or whatever, but...
I think Trump uses Kanye, and Kanye thinks that like he's really doing something, and Trump is just like, let's let this man say he's with us. Let him do what he wants. Let him do his thing. And
but the angle that you were saying about we talk about the rich folks. Like, if I don't listen, in my opinion, I think I live a pretty nice life. My wife just got a new job. She makes a lot more money. Fam, we are nowhere near $400,000 a year. Nowhere near $400,000 a year. You think I'm going to be out here acting like I'm rich and not vote for that? You smoking sticks. But that's because I know what the tax money can provide.
But that's for people, and nothing wrong with people who vote for themselves. Like I said, when I vote,
absolutely.
I never.
I understand why a rich person votes no on stuff like that.
I know nothing about, besides what I've read about Obamacare. Know nothing. Whether it's good or bad, I know nothing because I've never needed it and I won't need it because we are in a position of where our insurance is flawless. Okay. Now, I do know people who need any type of, what, good or bad, they need some type of, so like I'm going to vote for who's going to be able to provide that for them. I will never vote for myself. I understand taxes. Does it suck when you look at your check like, God dang, oh yes it does. But if I can actually see like, dang, the homie who grandma was always having a hard time getting doctor appointments, she now, man, got herself a wheelchair, getting herself right. That makes me feel like, all right, I'm good. I've done my part to make sure that I'm not just sitting around like trying to hold on my money. That's my money. No. I've helped out somebody I know. You and I both know we're from California. I'm Southside Phoenix, like stuff like that. Like we know people who are still in the hood, still in these areas. We know people who aren't in the hood but still in bad situations. People this year act like, when they're talking about this is a good thing just because it hasn't affected you. Like with me, I have no complaints about 2020 besides wearing a mask and COVID. fam, we work at home. I've been perfect. You've been able to work. None of our financial.
I got complaints, but
when we have complaints, but like my financial status, nothing has changed with me.
Sure.
Besides my aggravation.
That's just luck. I mean, yeah.
And my aggravation.
We're lucky that we didn't have to deal with shit that like.
So like when other people
30 million jobs or whatever was lost.
So like people that like are in the same situation as us are like, oh, everything's great.
And here's the other thing.
You're not in the position of others who it has affected. Like.
Right. And just touch on that issue, I will say, I'm not going to be the person sitting, I think I've said this on the show before, but I'm not going to be the person sitting up here that says that one person is 100% evil. Like Trump is obviously, his administration has done some positive too.
Yeah, of course.
The issue that I have, like you brought up the job thing, is like, I don't blame Trump for the country losing 50 million jobs or 30 million jobs or whatever. A crazy pandemic hit that, like, yes, he could have done something better about preparing for the pandemic up front, but the pandemic was going to hit regardless, and a lot of these companies were going to do the same thing. So I don't blame him for the job loss. What I blame him for is when jobs started recovering in September, October, whatever it was, going on TV saying, we've created 6 million jobs. No, you created 6 million jobs this month or in this quarter. But when you net it out, it's still negative 20 million jobs. Right. So I get that that's a political thing, but that's always been my thing is like, fam, yes, you created jobs right now, but what's the entire net for the year? You know what I mean? Like, people are going to call you out on this stuff, and fact checkers exist now. It's better to be honest about stuff. Like
100%. If there has never been a time, and we've equated this just to sneakers as a ridiculous thing. We've talked about it just owning up to something and being humble. I always said, even like year 2, whatever year, I said, you know what? If Trump one day got on TV and just was like, you know what, man, I was wildly in over my head and like really tried to do something, it could have gone a long way. But he doubles and triple downs on like the ridiculousness of nonsense, like you said, like. Taking stance at positions like that and ownership of like things that just happen to happen because like we're kind of on the tail end of something that was like catastrophic and being like, look what I did. That's not how it works, man. But like you know what? Vote.
Yeah, we got to get off the topic eventually, but I want to talk about specifically the Ice Cube and 50 Cent thing. 50 Cent's a thought. We know that. He did the whole Floyd Mayweather thing out in public. He's going to do everything out in public. Like I said, after that post, he did the post that said, I'm poor, send me money, or whatever it was. So I take nothing he does seriously. I hope no one else took it seriously. Right. The Ice Cube thing, though, is something to take seriously.
It's very serious.
And people need to do their research on that and not just throw shots or throw stones or whatever based on what you see on social media. There's a lot of moving parts with that.
It makes it bad because of how I'm talking. You want to talk about somebody, cancel culture.
Well, yeah, he said like he has tweets out there saying "F Trump" and "I'll never work with Trump" and that kind of stuff.
So like, but there was even stuff like where he was made anti-Semitic or pretty close to anti-Semitic stuff during COVID type things, and people were like, "Yo, people were he's wilding," and it's like you can't. Your stance, you have to be steadfast in your stance, especially if you take one as harsh as he did. I mean, he was going all summer on Trump them. Like, I'm talking where it was like, man, this is crazy. And part of you was like, man, you know, that's Cube. That's the homie, you know, man, you see it and you appreciate it. And then when you come back, like, you know what, we had a little chat. So it just makes you feel a certain way. But there are people, we talk about influence all the time. People's influence is based strictly off of sometimes what they see on social media. They're, the homie Cube, you know.
Right, yeah.
And it's stupid.
Right.
And it's not millions. Well, I don't know if it's millions. It could be millions. It could be thousands.
People are easily influenced. Is the bottom line. But so we got to get off this topic, obviously. But just something that I wanted to say real quick was, it didn't ever occur to me. I'm 41 years old. It never occurred to me. This is just proof that you can learn shit as you get older. It never even occurred to me that like minorities who are born here wouldn't kind of necessarily always be on the left side, because the majority of the right is white people, whether they're wealthy or not, but they are very conservative and whatnot, and have never embraced minorities being a big part of this country. So to me, it was always like a no-brainer that minorities born here would always be left. And then I saw something that, I forgot his name, but he's a doctor, and Charlemagne and them had him on the show. When DJ Envy wasn't there, it was just him and Angela Yee, and they did over video. I don't know if you saw that.
Umar?
Huh?
Not Dr. Umar.
No.
Oh, okay. I saw.
Claude.
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah. I didn't watch it, but
so he's someone who was in politics, worked with Jimmy Carter, had been a longtime Democrat, and he basically is saying like, I'm fed up. I'm done. Now, he's not saying he likes Trump. He said on that video like he hates Trump and everything Trump stands for, whatever. Right. But his point was more like the Democratic establishment hasn't done anything for us either. So he started talking about some of the things, and something that never occurred to me was that black people born in the U.S. would dislike open immigration or whatever because the people immigrating are taking jobs from the black community. That's something that never, ever occurred to me. And when I started thinking about it, I was like, oh, maybe it does make sense that younger black people are like a little more conservative than like your elite white liberal or whatever.
I don't think I ever thought about that either.
Yeah. So like there are certain issues that maybe in the black community would align more with conservative thought, dislike immigration, being religious, because obviously the black community, especially in the South, is highly religious. Right. And that's something that, like, I'm sure a lot of white liberals would say they're religious, but I'm not. I mean, so Hannah's not. I was baptized Catholic, but that doesn't mean anything. So that, for me, was like kind of an awakening to like, yeah, there's a reason why some people might, despite the fact that Trump is like sending the military out to like break up protests and tear gas people, there's a reason why they might align with some of those thoughts. And that was the first time I thought about it, and I was like, oh shit, you know what? Some of that makes sense.
See, the way you put it that way, think about it like, because it makes a lot of sense being a border state to Mexico, because.
Yeah, but it's not even only Mexico. Mexico obviously is the biggest immigration
I'm
group
speaking,
of immigrants
I'm
coming
speaking
here.
Just from like my perspective, because like even with like the black people that I talk to all the time and stuff like that, they talk about how like all this used to be all black people, like these neighborhoods and stuff like that, and now it's all Mexicans now. So then like when I think about it like in that perspective of those conversations and that, I could see, like you're saying, I could see why like, man, some black people are like, man, this is too much, they are, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
it was something that I never thought about. So I never thought eye-opening for me.
I thought about it, the conversation like that made me think like, oh shoot, like I guess I can kind of see that. Like it's always just been like black people conversation, at dinner, like, oh man, this neighborhood used to be black, now it's Mexican. And I'm thinking about it now like, that would get a lot of black people to vote the other way if they.
But see, and to me, the way I thought about it was like, if for the young black folks who, because I've seen studies done recently that are saying like a lot of the younger black folks are leaning more right than left. Right. And I don't know if Trump has anything to do with it, but it's like you kind of have to think about who represents you in politics. Does a young white rich person from Savannah represent you, or does AOC represent you? Right. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to say I don't agree with the Democratic establishment and Joe Biden was behind some laws years back that incarcerated a lot of black youth. But then you got to think about like in the younger part of the party, who more aligns with. I guarantee you AOC is way more willing to go out and do your agenda than the equivalent from the other party.
I was listening to something else, and I think it was We're Just the Messengers podcast. Shout out to the homie Mike, and they were saying like, and they're younger, way younger than us. Like I think still in their 20s. And they made a point. They were like, you know what? It's time for a president in their 30s and 40s, like because the mindset of a lot of us right now are in that mindset. Like I was watching a commercial, all the political commercials, and they were talking about Border Patrol and stuff like that, and it was like. McSally, she's walking across the wall or the border in Mexico, and on the right and left of her are probably look like 75-year-old old men with mustache, like, and it's like, no, why are these the faces?
Well, see that's what makes no sense in this country. Is the largest voting block is people who are over 50 or over 55 or whatever, and they're the ones who are going to live the least into the future. So it's like And it's cyclical. So, I guess I shouldn't say cyclical in terms of it's something that's historical in this country where the young people just don't vote. And at some point, it's got to start getting through to people that like, hey, the future is ours, not theirs. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
And the funniest part about it, like I said, if the only people who voted in this election were young, Trump might get more votes than you would think, because I saw the studies done recently. I don't know what it was on, but it was on Twitter from like a political website. and they're saying that more young black people are leaning right than in the past. Now, I don't know if that has to do with like, or where they polled, if it has to do with like a certain geographic in the states. Maybe they only polled the South. And obviously in the South, you might be a little more conservative than in the North or the Midwest or Northeast. But when you start thinking about some of those issues, that thing tripped me out when I was like, oh, yeah, I could see why they don't like immigration, because they don't want people coming and taking the jobs. Now, the point that Dr. Claude, I think Dr. Claude Anderson, don't quote me on that, but he was like, the problem is black folks will get mad about that, but they won't take those jobs. Yeah. So we need to be of the mindset that we want, if we're going to complain about it, we need to take that job.
That's 100%. I talk about that all the time. Like, you know, people complain about the jobs that they've been taking. It's like, but you don't want that one. Like, yes, they came, immigrated over, and they took the jobs to, you know, clean the hospitals. And you offer that job, you're like, I'm not cleaning no hospital. Right. Okay. What do you want to do then? Neither here nor there. Like I said, go vote. Hey, man, I know some of y'all going to be like, oh, my God. It's about... we are taxpayers.
Ice Cube and 50 Cent are relevant in here anyway.
And you know what? It's like when people get mad when LeBron and them talk about politics and stuff. Like, fam, these are tax-paying citizens. We're American tax-paying citizens. Like, you can't possibly think we just sleep, eat Snickers all day. We leave here and go pay taxes and wives and kids and do stuff and bills and stuff like that, just like everybody else. Do not let us being on YouTube and frequently on social media think that we're somebody special. We are regular, all right? Me and you talked about it before. Some people, and I'm not trying to, like, big our heads or nothing like that. Some people like really treat us sometimes if we're like on celeb status. And fam, we are regular people. Nobody. We want to be somebody. We want to be somebody. But
I mean, I don't know if I want to be.
You know what I mean?
Famous. Like, I just want to be rich. So.
Not. I want to be. You know what it is? I want to be important. Not important. Like I'm important enough, like professionally, but like I mean, like. I guess really make a difference.
Fam, I'll tell you what, I'm tired of DMs already, and I don't get nowhere near as many as you get. So I'm tired of DMs just on my personal. Now, granted, it's Boost Knob, so it's really the podcast account, but it's not the Sneak Diz account.
Fam, you need.
That's why I don't want to log in.
No, I need to log in.
Anyways, we got to get off this topic.
Anyways,
you want to open these
again.
boxes, or you want to do?
Yeah, open that one. This is pickups. So another pickup I had got was Olive Ultra Boost.
Actually, you might have to blur that out. Can you blur that out, or is that on the camera?
You won't be able to see it.
All right.
It's way far away.
Is there anthrax in here, fam?
I hope not. And we have no idea what's in these boxes. We appreciate anybody who take the time.
These might be sealed individually.
Oh, shoot. What is this? Champagne? Oh, shoot. You was right.
I don't know what's what.
Well, looks like a pair of Vans.
I mean, I can tell that, but I don't know if like that one's for you or that one's for me. Here we go. Oh, I thought this was a note. This is just from End.
Fam, I'm going to tell you this right off the bat. You listen to this podcast, you know we love Vans. So right off the bat,
Courier, please take on the road.
I'm already ecstatic. Not ecstatic, I hate that word. But like here, I already know like
keys.
I can't wait to see what these are because we love Vans. Dang, man, what are these? Oh, shoot. Damn, what is this?
If that's, well, look at the size first. If that's my size, then we'll swap. I just breathed inside the box. That might not be good.
Fam, what is this, huh?
Customs.
Yo. This is a size 12.
All right, so this one
here. Dang, what?
Yeah.
This is kind of fire. I like this bag. So it looks like we have some classic old school Vans. Is this like a ID or something?
Oh, yeah, it's like camo on the Digicamo, it looks like.
Fam, I don't want to hold this to the thing because it has information on it.
Well, just go like this.
But, I mean, looks like a Vans ID. I've never ID'd a Vans before. One? Oh, shoot. I guess it is.
I'm saying both got the same pair?
Yeah. Oh, it is custom Vans. The card right here says custom Vans. Yeah, Vans by you. Oh, I didn't look at that. Thanks for supporting our heritage. Okay.
These are definitely Crip Vans.
Ooh, see, I like this.
You can see that.
I don't know if I can see it in your camera. Oh, I like these.
These are loser Dallas Cowboy colors.
Okay, so fam, these are fire. Like they're dope Vans. And for the record,
The Digicam was tight.
if I didn't think these were fire, I would say they're not fire. All right, 100%. These are dope. I wear old school blue solid Vans literally every single day to go run errands and do stuff. It's my easy throw on shoe. I like these. These are dope. If you listen to this podcast, we talk about how important Vans are to us. Vans are always in our top 10 when we do our favorite sneakers of all time. The Digicamo, the suede, these are customs that were specially made for us. I like this, man. I appreciate this a lot. Shout out to the homie.
Right? It's on that white paper right there.
You told me not to say that.
Oh.
Shout out to the homie.
I didn't say his last name.
I appreciate this because you know what? I appreciate anybody who sends us something and puts it in a box and mails it because mailing stuff.
Blurt that out. 655.
Mailing stuff is expensive nowadays. Okay, and anybody who spends their money on us and then puts it in a box and mails it all the way to Arizona, I appreciate.
Hopefully the USPS deal gets signed into law and then prices go down.
Man, we got this custom Vans bag. The bags is fire. Yo, shout out to him, man. I appreciate it.
You got to open that.
These joints is definitely.
Why did he say don't say his name?
Per conversations, I guess. I don't know.
Oh.
So he also sent us some hats. Oh, shite. Let me tell you something. I saw the box, and the box is from Ebbetsfield Flannels, and I love Ebbetsfield stuff.
Yeah, they got a lot of like vintage looking stuff if you know anything about them.
Fam, we got these cards.
So maybe you were supposed to read the note first, but there's a note for the shoes and the. Dang, I need that for my fade.
Here, take the hat. So these are San Francisco Seals hats. It says, "Thank you. This is for doing the podcast. I appreciate you." These were supposed to be San Francisco Seals hat, but they were not. But they were out. He sent a Polaroid. I don't know if this is what it was supposed to be. I think the sun messed it up.
All right, this is yours.
In the box.
Fam, that logo is fire. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I've looked at these on the website.
Oh,
I've seen these on the website. Fam, look at that. Dodgers are gonna win the World Series too. What size is that? That's yours, right?
Yeah, I looked.
Oh, okay.
It's in there.
Is that the right size?
Yeah, the size is in the back.
Fam.
Pause.
Look at that. L.A. All right? L.A.
And they're not Clippers hats either.
Yo, I appreciate this, man. Like I said, man, I appreciate
There's
anybody.
one more. I don't know if this is for your wife or what. I don't know. I don't know what that's for. I mean, you might as well give it to Rocio.
I don't know. It says Future Farmer Recordings, so I don't know what that means.
Or maybe that's something that might be that he works for.
But shout out.
You can have that since you got two hats.
Shout out to the homie, I'm not going to say, but, you know, he told me to just say this is like our yearly gift, you know, for doing the podcast. I appreciate it. Future Farmer Recordings. So I'm not exactly sure 100% what that is, but I appreciate this. I appreciate these hats. These hats are fire. Thank you so much. And they came just in time because LA is in the World Series, which we will be talking about at the end. Can't wait.
Yes, sir.
Man, Vans and hats?
Crazy.
We're doing a good job hiding, fam.
And a shirt.
And I got a vote shirt? Fam, come on, man. We out here doing stuff, man. Cats out here.
Oh, yeah, other things is, well, we got to do pickups and then what's coming out. But just real quick, figure out how to vote in your area because you can vote early. Like my vote's already in. You can vote early. You can vote by mail. Some states it's not possible. So if you've never voted before, make sure you learn about it. Anyways.
Figure it out.
Pickups.
Well.
What else you got to say?
No, I was going to say.
Fam, what's up with that brush?
Go ahead. You keep that in.
What is it? Is it for a hat?
Like you brush hats.
Suede
like you
brush?
brush the flannel and stuff like that. You got that. I got a ton of brushes at the house. I got a ton of brushes at the house. So.
It's not for my fade. I need a brush for my fade.
Yeah, this is the brush the flannel hat on, fam. You got to understand that. That's the EFF. Ebbetsfield.
The only thing I know about Ebbetsfield is going on the website and looking, fam.
Fam, the jerseys and stuff on the website are they have an ASU baseball jersey on there? That joint
I've never
is
seen that.
fire. All right,
relax.
Okay, you relax. We're doing top 10 non-Nike sneakers, non-Nike Adidas Yeezy Jordan Brand sneakers of 2020. Yuri was supposed to come on the podcast this week. He wasn't feeling good. He was being responsible.
Man,
he had a
what's up,
high
man?
fever.
Yeah, don't bring COVID.
Don't bring that here. So I appreciate the responsibility of him not coming to the podcast. But we're doing top 10 non-Nike / Adidas sneakers. And you know what? Doing this, I think I'm ready to take Adidas out of like the second spot of sneakers. Like, we always go like Nike, Adidas. You know what? New Balance has surpassed Adidas when it comes to like second place. No, they have.
Maybe.
New Balance has a 3-year run of. They've had a longer run, but like the last 3 years, New Balance has been blowing stuff out of the water, and Adidas has been going absolutely backwards or nowhere. Okay, these are facts. Like, we might have to change sneaker awards to to whatever the sneaker non-Nike, non-New Balance sneaker of the year. That's how whack Adidas has gotten. That's how whack it's gotten.
We just both copped, and we'll say
different.
We'll say it, but we just both copped them.
I copped.
You could chill out.
Ultra Boost.
Oh, you might as well go then.
Yeah, I copped Ultra Boost Olive 1.0. Now, we both copped it. We both copped it. But
I'm surprised the 12.5 is still online.
What are we gonna do though?
So I use a code.
No. What are we gonna do?
I'm gonna wear it.
No, you're not.
First day.
No, don't do it.
Bet.
Don't do it.
Bet.
Don't do it. Fam, I just took back ASU Ultra Boost that I paid $195 for. Use code.
Oh yeah.
Got them back. Nope. I'm not wearing them olives until them joints to get in the code and
Damn,
go
if
back.
you order another one, you just take the second box back. I guess I shouldn't have said that, but
I think everybody done that before.
yeah, I mean,
But look, Adidas is no. Now we were going back to buy stuff that didn't come out in our country in the
I
first
appreciate
place.
the fact that they released them.
Oh no, I appreciate it. Now you were right; they are different than the originals.
I think slightly. I mean, I don't think it's not noticeable.
I went back and looked about, and it's pretty.
Talking about the burgundy one you have, or
The burgundy and the green, the olive.
No, I know, but we don't have those yet. So
Yeah, but I noticed like it's a brighter green than the original olives.
still fire.
Oh no,
Ash purple comes out. I'm copping ash purple.
Of course.
Assuming the sizes are the same.
But we're buying sneakers that were released in what 2015, and they didn't come out in this country, right? They were only
I
European.
think it was Europe. Well, no one's ever corrected us on that, so I'm just going to keep going with it. I think it was Europe only.
And so that's where we are with
Ash
Adidas
purple,
right now.
I think, came out here, but I want to say it was like a women's color. That's what I thought. I thought it was a women's.
I thought it was too. That joint is fire. Either way, I want that too. Now, if I got to go back in time to buy Adidas Ultra Boost when they first released, like, you're in some trouble, all right?
Fam, we've been talking about olives for 5 years. I was copying regardless. No, we both were.
Yes, of course we were. Now,
And
olives,
you even got a 10 in the burgundy. Yeah. Yo!
Oh, you're right. And ASU, if they drop ASU ones and Miami ones, you might have to buy those too, though.
Nah.
Yeah, you might have to. Why? Those don't have any ASU insignia on them.
Fam, how did Extra Butter or whoever even get those in the first place? That's what I'm still, or whatever store it was. I'm still stuck on that. No, it wasn't. It was either Extra Butter or the other one in New York. I think it was Extra Butter.
I'll tell you this, nobody in Arizona got them.
It makes no sense. Well, the
Except
entire
athletes.
football team got them. But
That's the only reason why there are some that, when we used to go to like,
Fam, do your pickups. You already said that.
that's it.
That's all you got?
That's it.
You got Ultra Boost. That's it.
And some custom Vans and Ebbetsfield hats. That's all I bought. I've got nothing lately, though. Haven't really been trying.
Yeah, you lost a raffle from me, you freak.
Oh yeah, I lost the Union.
I mean, I don't even know if mine went through. I definitely didn't get an email, so.
Oh, you didn't get the pop-up that said sorry, sold out?
Yeah. I lost on 3 Nike accounts, I'll tell you that much. I'm trying to figure out what day I got those green Jordan 1s because I don't know if that was after the pod.
Those are fire. Those are super fire.
The material is ridiculous. That should be on a men's shoe. Now, I respect the fact that the women are getting shoes like that too. Less tight.
They're just a fire. They're sorry, I got, and I already said I got the pickup.
What day did I buy these
But
on?
my blue toes came in. Shout out to Tapes for getting me those. Fam, blue toe Jordan 1s are fire.
Oh, yeah, I told you
all right,
a long time ago.
Fire. And they're better than They're better than Fragments ones too. 100%. They're better than Fragment ones.
Well, I mean,
They're better than Fragment ones.
no, I would have to hold them both in person and be like,
Nah, we don't need to.
I will say,
Fragment ones have always been overrated.
They haven't.
And you said you've grown up.
No, they
realize that.
There's two different things. They're not overrated. They're overpriced. That's different. Because you can't overrate a shoe that's just a classic Jordan 1 that's just blue, black, and white. It's not overrated. It's overpriced.
No, it's overrated.
No, it's not. How is a blue, black, and shoe overrated?
Overrated is when Cat was like, "Oh my God, the color block! These are insane."
Who did that?
Fam, don't do that. We're talking about sneakerheads in the sneaker community. Everybody somebody did that. No. It's just like you guys and Russ Pinks. You settle down.
Russ Pinks are fire. Now are Russ Pinks worth $5,000? No, that's different. That's overpriced. That's not overrated.
Who did the collaboration with Russ Pinks again? I keep forgetting this. Someone told me.
No one. It was
they did.
No, it was part of the Miami Art Basel.
Yeah, but like somebody sent me this stuff and they were like, everybody keeps forgetting that Russ Pinks is part of a collab and everyone thinks it's Soulfly. And I was like,
it's not, because it would say it on all the resale websites. Fam, trust me, it's not a collab. It just was an Art Basel project.
Well, maybe. Somebody sent me something. I was like, what the? And I looked it up and I was like, what the heck?
You smoking.
And it said it.
All right, anyways.
That's all I got.
Olive 1.0 Ultra Boost. I got it on the early release for the icon status. Then I sent it to you. You got it. I think Andy got it too. I got Nike Off-White Vapor Street. It was a women's shoe. I had 20% off code and they were marked down some crazy amount. So I already sold them, but I got them for like $110.
Thought you meant something you was keeping.
Nah, this right here.
Oh, wait a minute. That went on sneakers?
Yeah.
Dang it, I want those.
But I got it for like $110. I already sold it. I didn't make much. It looked better, like a better deal than when it came in. I think I only made like $10, but at least I got like a credit for a sale on it. So I just bought today Union Jordan 4. I told you I was buying those for the hold.
Wait, what?
Union Jordan 4.
You actually did it?
Yeah, I bought one today. It's size 13s. 13s are super low right now. Or they were low per prices compared to the other ones. Goat.
Are you leaving it in the locker?
Yeah, I put it to the locker.
You only bought one?
We'll buy another one, but I just got a 13 because that was like the lowest price one, and like 13 and all Jordan 4s is like one of the highest prices. Like if you let it go long enough. Like I looked at Travis 4s, I looked at the other Union 4 that's already like $1,500 for a 12. I looked at Off-White. Off-White is the all sale, right? I looked at that one. I did like a research of like 5 4s that have been out long enough to where the prices are higher. 13 just does just as well as 12. So I was like, I'm going to buy 2 different sizes just so I don't have the same thing. And like, I got 2 $20 off codes on GOAT from selling those Yeezy.
What's a 13 Union 4 going for right now?
So I paid too much because they almost like within 2 hours went down more. Not a lot, like $30 difference, but that would have been nice to have that extra $30. I got mine for $730.
Oh, okay,
and right now it probably would be around like $690.
No, that's okay. That's fine. I honestly, for some reason, I was like, oh, God, I please hope he didn't say you pay like $1,300 or something for them 12.
No, because they'll be $1,500 a year or 2 years or whatever. I don't know if I'm gonna hold them that long, but like, say I hold them 6 months and they go up like $400 or $500, I might just sell.
They're gonna go up.
Well, obviously it's a Union shoe, but
even it's.
The only reason I did it is the white pair is already that high, and that's a good barometer for the black pair, because when the blue and black ones came out, it was the same thing. One was like, I think, Union exclusive, and the other one, and now they're both the same price pretty much. So that's why I was like, I'll just base it based on that, even though these are ones, and I don't expect the 4 to be a $3,000 shoe, but it probably will be $1,500. Now I may not wait that long, but I was like, it's a test.
Yeah, but you know what what's unique about the Jordan 4s is like, with the Union ones, there was never a build up on whether or not they were fire or not. But when pictures came out, it was instant fire. The fire for the 4s is like, it's building. Like, it's building. I no longer think they're trash.
I think it's because those pictures came out. That's why you're saying that. The like samples.
Oh no! When I saw it at Legend, when I did that sneaker panel thing,
if they would have done those first, and then we would have seen what they could have came out with, then I think it would go down.
No.
The black pair is better than any of those black samples, but the white pair is not better than at least 2 of the samples.
Yeah. Okay, so looking at those samples, I was like, well, why would you choose the guava one? That did make me say that. Like I was like,
the one that was like sail and gray and was all suede, even the tongue was suede. Fam. That joint with the green eyelets,
back tab?
No, that one's fire too. Fam, that joint is unreal. A suede tongue? When was the last time you saw like a butter suede tongue? Not like Nubuck suede, but like nappy suede.
New Balance. Them joints were fire. But No, like I think the Jordan 4s have extreme potential to go up because, like you said, it's until you see
that's
one.
That's why I'm holding
until
that.
you
PSG,
see one in
that
person.
PSG,
you got to keep that
the
one.
leather.
You got to keep that PSG
Suede,
one.
whatever it is.
You got to keep that PSG one.
We'll see if I get like Ansi to wear it. It's nice.
Them PMG ones are ridiculous. I haven't seen a whack picture on foot yet. All right. Now I know where I could go find some whack pictures of people wearing them.
I have them. I just have them in the room, kind of hidden. But I saw a picture online, and I was like,
I was like, nah, you might got to keep those. Them is like. Those might qualify to some as like heat. Them joints are one of the best fours I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Like the back tab is super fire. The leather on it looks impeccable. The color, and it's a dope shoe. Like it's I love that.
The suede that, because I think it is. I'm pretty sure it's suede. But the suede, it's toe box,
whatever that gray.
Well,
is.
yeah, everything around the front of the shoe is all suede. But it's maybe the white is leather and the gray is suede. But either way, the material. Excuse me, the material is unreal. So I got those Vapor Streets. I got the 1.0 Olive Ultra Boost. I got, I told you today I bought a Union. Probably going to buy another one. What else? The green one, because I think that came out after. I'm trying to find it in my inbox, but I think it came out after our show, right?
I think so. Oh, yeah, it did. That green one is dope, too.
The material on that shoe is unreal.
I will say I didn't know, even from like initial pictures of it, I didn't know the swoosh was, what is it, patent leather? And typically, patent leather doesn't bother me. And I think that's a minimal amount. It is a minimal amount, but it just doesn't, it's not good. But yeah, the shoe is unreal. It's decisions like that where I'd be like, why did they think like, who was like, nah, the patent leather one? Like, a leather swoosh would have, them shirts would have blew out the water, all right?
Yeah, it was after the show.
The leather on those look thick.
It was on Wednesday. Fam, the leather, okay, so we talk a lot about the leather on the toe box, and obviously it's nice when you put your foot in a shoe and it's like buttery leather so it doesn't like feel like plastic when you bend your toe or whatever. But even more so to me these days, the leather that's around the collar I start to notice is like uncomfortable. Fam, the leather around the collar on those green women's ones is the softest leather I think I've ever seen on a sneaker. It like, I mean, it's like it just, I can't even describe it. It just feels like it's not even shoe suede or shoe leather. It's like leather from like a lambskin jacket.
It's like leather Wilson's. It's like one of the. It's like
Wilson's leather.
It's like when like the Lakers used to win a championship back in the day. Magic Johnson. They used to wear them leather coats that had like the Lakers on the back and stuff.
Fam, it is the softest lambskin.
If it would have been a 9.5,
is it lambskin?
If it would have been a 9.5 or 10 in my size, I would have made you feel bad and give it to me. No,
I had already sold it.
I would have. Because you said it was a 9. I was like, because that's 9.5. I would have been like, no, you gotta give me.
Let me get that. Well, when you asked me that, I was like, dang it, he's gonna ask.
If it was a 9.5, if it was 9.5, I would have been like, you got to get that to me though, because they're
not that expensive.
It's fire. I don't want to pay for them though. Well, what they going for?
I mean, retail was a 1.8.
Well, I sold. Huh? Why you already sell that one? That's one you should have kept too.
Just because it was like, I don't want to build up too much. I'm not trying to have a store. I don't want to build up a store inventory. I'm just trying to.
Everybody else got one.
You got to have some quick flips to like pay off the other stuff. You know what I mean? Like the stuff that you buy. Like I bought a Dodger hat after they made the World Series. I told you that. That hat aspired to me.
I'm buying the World Series.
I know you don't like it, but that hat aspired to me.
Which one?
The one that has the palm tree on the side and the 40-year anniversary.
Oh no, that joint is fire. I got too many. I'm over palm trees now. Like I got like.
But I don't have one.
I got I got like 3-4 palm trees.
That blue
I don't
one,
even wear those.
Well, first of all, the blue one that I first bought is the one with the palm tree on the logo and it's off center.
Correct.
The LA is not in the center. Then I realized New Era remade it with the palm tree still attached to the LA, but the LA is least in the middle. And it still looks weird. So that one is like the one that LeBron started wearing around, where the palm tree is over here, by itself.
I don't
and
like
then
that.
If it just was the palm tree, or maybe like the palm tree and the taco or whatever it comes with, I don't like that one. But this one was the palm tree and then like the fire, colorful side patch, and the hat is black. So I was like, oh yeah, I need that.
There's a lot of Dodgers hats that we got so many Dodgers hats. I stopped buying them, but like now that they're in the World Series, I want to buy them. I want to buy the on-field World Series hat, but I will never
wait
buy
till they win it.
You got to win it first. You have
if they win.
So they're gonna win it.
I understand that, but I don't jinx.
I'm gonna say that because I got to talk about it because I got to ask you a question. That's all I got pickups. You got anything else?
I might. I'm not sure. Let me see here. All right, relax you. Oh, did I ever say I got orange Air Max 1s? The ones that just came out.
Yeah.
I did. All right, so I got.
I gotta
those
buy
in.
those. I'm gonna have to buy them. I gotta buy them because like I even saw them on eBay like 190 shipped, and I'm like, okay, like I gotta buy a pair of these. They're not going for anything right now. They're extremely reasonable. So like, and it's one I said that I was gonna buy and have to buy. The green ones I could do without the green ones. I'm good with that.
Yeah,
I actually think the green ones are kind of whack. Man.
They're not whack, but the orange.
Something about the gray with the green, like it just. The
orange pops more, but fam, the orange is unreal fire. Unreal fire.
What comes out?
Let's see here. I don't know if that was the end of my pickups, by the way, but I'm not really sure. So let's see here. I'm dead serious.
I mean, look, everyone's always like, "Yo, did you cop, fam?" I'm literally not trying nothing. Yo, what you want? Simple say, can I help with the off-white five? Sure, I don't give a shit. Yeah. Like, I'm not trying anything.
I think the next obvious thing that I want, and the plug is working on it for me, and I'm not going to say his name because I don't know if he wants me to say it, but obviously those Travis Thought.
Everybody's
I'm gonna just call them Travis
those,
Thought ones.
Everybody's calling like everybody has like a Travis alteration name for him.
I showed you how many laces I bought for them joints.
If you don't get them, no, you're gonna be stuck with a lot.
I'm gonna just have to pay. Well, here's the thing.
I'm about to buy some of them laces from you.
I would never be the person who would like ask for help and then not try myself. So obviously I'm gonna try myself, do raffles, sneakers, whatever I have to. Hopefully I could double up or whatever. If he can get me one, I can get another one. But now, I'm not going to keep multiples. I just would keep the one he gave me. But I'm going to try just in case something goes bad. Like he said, everything has changed with COVID. So like fewer people are working. Stock is going to different places than it used to, stuff like that. So
them joints, I didn't really care for them as much as like, what are they, Mocha? Is it called Mocha?
Yeah, Mocha ones.
I really didn't care for them as much. Like, I was like, oh yeah, I get it. They fire, but
my thing was like,
I want them now.
Why pay $1,000 for Travis Scott lows or $1,500 for Travis Scott highs when you could just get those? And granted, it's not a Travis Scott shoe, but it's a brown and black Jordan 1. Like, why? I don't understand people's hesitation to say like, granted, it's not a Travis Scott shoe, and I'm not trying to say it is. But if you have a fit, like I'm not saying I have a fit, but if you have a fit that you've been waiting. You
got a fit lined up.
All right.
You sent a picture of all them laces next to each other, you got something planned.
No. I'm just, well, actually, matter of fact, putting white laces in Chicago 1 lows changed the game because I didn't wear those all that much. Fam, I took the black laces out and put the white laces in. Unreal fire. That was the one that your pictures you posted.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice you put white laces in them. Don't we always have white laces in Chicago's?
No, black laces.
Oh. Well, you know you're right because I wore the AJKOs here and I switched out the white laces only because you had talked about
it looks better with white laces, at least to me.
They do look better. It looks way better.
But again, I'm not trying to say like, oh, these are Travis Scott's. That's not the thing. Now, I agreed already. I admitted. I'm like, I'm a thought out this shoe. I told the plug when I said I want it, I said, fam, I'm going to just tell you, I'm buying these to put pink laces in them. Now, I bought red laces too because red laces came with the Travis Scott's and with the Travis Scott low. And I bought sale laces. So I'm going to see which one looks best because the black laces don't look good to me. The white laces look better. But it's not
black that comes with?
Yeah, black comes in it and then white, but it doesn't pop. So when I sent you that picture, someone had put brown laces in it, which I thought looked okay, but not like, oh yes. And then the other one was pink laces. But no one has put red laces in them yet. So I want to see what sale and red laces look like. You
got to wear one and one.
No, I'm not doing that. We don't do that. We're too old.
Yeah,
now,
that's
15 years ago, we do that.
That's standing out.
No, Thodden is putting the pink laces in the shoe that's not Travis Scott ones. I mean, let's just be honest.
No, I think Thodden is more buying.
And I'm not doing that to like wear a pink shirt either. I'm just doing it just to put pink laces in.
When people started buying. Like when the lace companies started making their own like off-white laces, and people were putting like off-white laces in regular Jordan 1.
Oh yeah, the company that I bought them from sells those too.
Yeah, that's Thodden. I went on there immediately. That's one thing about laces too, because I had a drawer full of laces, and when I got the blue toes,
I still do, but they're all SB laces.
Yeah, that's what sucked because I'm like, oh man, I got laces in here, so I take them out, and then I took out the lace in the Jordan 1 and measured it. Fam, a Jordan 1 lace is what, 52? How long is it?
A high Jordan 1? No, yeah. 74, 73.
Fam, I was like, I put them, I was like, yo, I had Nike bag, like actually Nike bag, but I don't know what sneakers they came with. Right. Them Jordans were so much smaller, like they must have like 48s or something.
What color do you want? Because I got all those ones at the house. I'm not going to use them all.
Well, I found some eventually. I had to just go searching through all them boxes. When I found like...
I think cream or, sale would look good in those, but I wouldn't put pink or red in those. I mean...
And what?
What color lace were you looking for?
I was looking for white.
Oh,
I was looking for white ones, but I took the white ones out, put the black ones back in it because, like you said, if the tongue
that
isn't
white
white,
didn't look right.
If the tongue ain't white,
that's why on Chicago ones it looks better because the tongue is white on the Chicago one with the white laces.
I've never noticed the tongue being white. I thought the tongue was red on Chicago ones.
Bam.
Is it?
Trust me.
Is it red on highs? It might be red on
No,
highs
it's the
and white
same
on lows.
Fam, the shoe is exactly the same. What are you talking about?
know why I
Look
said
at IG. You posted the picture I gave you.
I just was like, man, I'm glad George sent a picture. I don't.
All right. I've been sending you picture once a week lately with my feet kicked up at work.
Yes, you have.
Yep.
You got to do that tradition every Friday.
All right.
You do.
You trying to post for the algorithms.
What time you facts?
Dracula Air Max Trainer 3 and the Halloween Air Max 97 was supposed to come out today. It was pushed back to the 27th, which is a week from today, I guess.
Damn.
I'm going to try to buy the Air Max 97, and if I don't like it, I'm going to try to flip it or I'm going to take it back.
You're going to have to keep that Air Max 97 until next Halloween. Because the orange Air Force One with the skeleton foot, I like it. It's ridiculous. I like it. Fam, the joint comes out the 22nd or the 26th. Halloween is 4 days. Like, I've never understood that. Those Halloween Dunk SBs that we tried to get, you know what I'm talking about, right? That never came out. Fam, you see how much those go for?
They came out.
Well, they didn't come out on sneakers. Like, it was on sneakers, then they took it off sneakers and never came out. You know what I mean?
We didn't get an email back.
It was funny.
They came out.
They hit me up and they was like, oh, man, sorry, I didn't even see this. No, I saw you saw it. It said whatever. I don't know.
I think something about the Slime 97 just is interesting to me. And I don't care about 3M, glow in the dark, none of that stuff. But it just kind of looks cool.
It's appropriate for that. If you were going trick-or-treating,
I woke up.
Appropriate.
Damn, I woke up this morning. I mean, granted, I'm already up earlier to go to work on these days anyways, but for sneaker releases. But I woke up, got in the shower, and was like rushing in the shower to like get out in time to get my laptop set up. And I looked and I was like, fam, why is it not letting me pick a size? Click the like dates, it moved it to the 27th, and no one even said anything.
That happens a lot. It happens a lot to me. I get on there and be like waiting for something and it moves.
I understand like if like Undefeated, their shipment's late.
Right.
You're the brand. Like, what do you? I mean, them joints been sitting in the warehouse for 6 months. What do you mean you push it back?
Glow in the dark on shoes is I just don't get it. The glow in the dark hats, like, I mean, it's cool. But I was like, if I'm ever, I don't go anywhere that dark anymore. Like if I was at the club,
no, I don't care that it glows.
I know that, but I'm just saying like,
I like Air Max 97s. You like Air Max 97s. I mean,
yeah. No, I'm just saying like stuff like that. Like people were like, yo, you buying the glow in the dark hat club hat? And I was like, I mean, it's cool, but I was like,
the only reason I bought it was because I think it's the same side patch as that one. So only reason I bought it was because when I finally found the pictures, Simple was like, do you want it? And I was like, fam, I don't know, is the hat black or white? What
I thought that was a farm. I had no idea that was a diamond.
Yeah, you're a fool.
I was like, you know what? I don't understand why it got a farm on here. I just noticed this is the stadium.
Even if it was a farm, they call them farm teams, the minor leagues. But that's,
I was like, oh, that corn and stuff. I thought that yellow was like corn. I've never paid attention to it.
You're a weird person, though. But anyways, so by the way, Blanc is in that ad.
Oh yeah, they asked him to do stuff.
I know, but Simple sent me a text and was like, "You want that hat that what do you say Big Sean has on?" And I was like, "Big Sean." I was like, "Man, what?" I went back and looked. It was Blanc. I was like, "You're an idiot." I was like, "We know him. He was on the show. What is wrong with you?"
Got to get Blanc on the show before the year ends too. He hasn't been on all 2020.
But none of their ads that they did had the actual color of the hats. It was all in the dark because they were trying to show off that it was glow in the dark. And I couldn't figure out, but the hat is literally just a Dodger blue color with the threads being glow in the dark.
Wait, the hat's blue?
Yes, Dodger blue. That's the only reason I told someone to cop it. I was like, yeah, might as well. If it sucks, I'll sell it. I mean,
the one I liked the most out of them was the Mets one because for some reason the blue on there, I like the way it looked glow in the dark, but I was like, I don't care about this. And plus, I didn't want to buy another hat without the Dodgers going to the World Series. But
I told you I wasn't buying anything again until they reached the World Series. And then once they won that game, then I immediately went on Downey Store website and copped that one.
Man, they win the World Series, dude. We have to.
No, that's different. Then I'll buy all the World Series championship gear.
Well, they win the World. Yeah. When they win the World Series, we're gonna have to be like soon as like that last out. We're gonna have to be on the websites because that stuff. All that stuff is gonna fly. Like
but think about how many different sites will have. Yeah. Like you could buy it on Fanatics.
Like I don't
want to. I hate them, but
yeah.
Well, because I told you what happened. I ordered that stuff, and I have what's that company that does free 2-day shipping? If you have
joggers,
Shopify,
whatever that thing, whatever. My Shopify, whatever it is. You know when you buy something and that code pops up and sends it to your phone, you put the code in.
No, I don't have that.
Oh, well, you have Runner, right?
Yeah, Shop Runner. That's what it is. So Shop Runner partners with them, but
they don't honor it. Like
no. Well, here's what's stupid. So they honor it, but what they do is they're like, oh, you live in Phoenix. Our warehouse is in Las Vegas, so we're just going to send it ground because ground is the equivalent of 2 days from Vegas to Phoenix. But they don't realize is the shipping companies don't treat it that way. They treat it as if it's like, oh, we can get it there whenever we want. Right. Fam, I order something to like go to a game. That joint came, it was supposed to be there on Friday, and we were leaving Saturday morning to go to a game or whatever. I think it was in Tucson, U of A game. That joint didn't come till like, first it was scheduled to be there Thursday. Then it was scheduled to be there Friday. Then it was scheduled to be there the next week. I canceled it, I think, before it even showed up. I was like, fam, what are you doing? I have Shop Runner. I checked out with 2-day. You're supposed to ship 2-day air. So because I needed this for a specific thing. Now, you know, kind of stupid, like, I obviously didn't need it for the game, but my entire point was to get it so my fit could be fire for the game. And like that was a weekend I hung out with tapes and all that. Not saying that matters, but like I was like angry. I was like, bro, what's it? I'm not paying for this. You're not keeping my money after this,
dude. That's a monthly payment thingy, right? A yearly.
It is, unless you have if you have a American Express credit card, you get it for free.
Oh, we use like my sister-in-law's for like Nordstrom. I think Nordstrom does it.
Rosia was asking me about it, and I said, if you have American Express, you get it free. And she's like, well, we use Naretas or Evas. I don't know who it was.
Right, one of them. What else come out this week?
So they already released, but this thing says October 22nd for the Ultra Boost 1.0, Burgundy and Olive. I think they're already on the website for everybody, but I'm not sure.
I think it still says exclusive access, but
Penny 3. Well, maybe that's why 12.5 is still available, because normally 12.5 is like the first size to go. Penny 3 eggplant. I mean, it's relevant, like nostalgia wise.
I guess them joints are.
Fam, people love that shoe.
Yeah, a lot of people love that.
I don't care. I'm just saying, like, we got to talk about it because
it's ugly. It's not ugly. Why did you come out the blue one first? Like, why did you come out this eggplant one first?
I don't know what the point of this is, but this is coming out. Ultra Boost.
I saw that. I was going to ask you about that. Is that a 1.0?
I don't think so.
I can't tell what it is.
No.
It was like a
2.0 knit, maybe.
It was like a 4.7.
All right. You should have kept that one, by the way.
You right. But it was whack.
You right.
It was whack. No?
I didn't see it in person, but you still should have kept it.
Damn, I bought more Ultra Boost this year.
Oh, shout out Foam God, a.k.a. Mr. Mitos, for copping those Lakers LeBron 18s. And he posted on social media. I think he just was happy to have them like early before everybody, because
he buys everything.
He does, all LeBron, obviously, fam. He has the whole union pack. I mean, but yeah, and obviously I just charge them what they charge me retail. I'm not gonna, if I know someone personally and I just have a shoe that I don't want, you know, I'm gonna sell it for retail. Because he texted me, he was like, well, how much? And I was like, fam, retail, it's not that big a deal.
I gotta give him a pot.
Like, all right, cool, meet up. Well, he don't live on the west side no more.
Yeah, I know he moved. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
He lives on the east.
Oh, really? Oh,
I'm not gonna say where, but
well, he was supposed to come on the podcast this month, but I don't know what happened.
Jordan 12 Dark Concord.
Nope. Nope. Actually, they look okay.
I seen the thing, something pop like up. Like, I don't know if it was a release, an early release or whatever I saw popping. I was like, Concord. Well, I clicked on it so fast, and I was like, oh, just this. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Maybe you do, but the New Balance Salehi Bembury.
Are those fire?
Yes, I think they are. I think they're fire. The model is weird to me. And by the way, he's
is it a new model?
Is it Versace? He's the head men's shoewear designer for somebody. Versace or somebody.
You know I know nothing.
Yeah, but I figured, like, for the culture, you might know.
This shoe is fire.
I
don't know what the model is. Is this a new model?
2002R.
I thought it was a 992 at first, and then I kept looking at it like, what the heck is this?
2002R. I don't know what that is. I will tell you this much. It looks like he had some help designing it, because there's a lot of like pictures with him and his friends going over swatches and whatnot. But that color blue with that orange, I never would think to put those together. And maybe he looked at an Astros jersey. Who knows? Like, it's not the same color as Astros, but maybe it made him say like, oh, blue does go with orange. Though. The color blocking is fire. I don't know if the model is fire.
I don't know if the model is. Because I think any other color in the model might be whack.
And
they're not that fire, that suede, that rust or orange, whatever,
nuts.
Looks crazy. It's
now, I put it on a raffle, and New Balance is releasing it coming up on their website, which means absolutely no one's going to get it, because it's going to go like that. But
their checkout is
it's different now. But they released that Bodega one. You couldn't even see sizes or select sizes. That's how fast it sold out.
I couldn't even. I think the same thing with the Casablancas when I tried. Like I couldn't even.
That was on the old website.
Oh yeah.
The
like the
ISPA second version of that Road Warrior shoes coming out. I know you don't care, but it's $1,000 on here, so somebody cares.
I'm curious. I just don't want to pay $500 for it.
So you're bi curious,
fam. ISPA has been ISPA has been making some of the most creative sneakers.
Yeah,
in the last
give it to them. I don't get it, but I understand why. You got to do new stuff to stay relevant. What else is on here?
I can't.
You know what? A shoe was funny in the past. We would have gone crazy for it. Now I say in the past, I mean like almost 10 years ago. But Katie Aunt Pearls is coming out for the newest model. Fam, we used to fight to get on Pearls.
We only fought for like 2 or 3.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like. Katie
okay.
4 on Pearls sold for like $350, and that was only a $95 shoe.
Oh, I keep forgetting that they were that cheap.
$95.
These are new on Pearls is kind of tight. They all right. The shoe is.
I'm not mad at it.
The model is whack, but
I'm not mad at it.
You know, I'm glad he committed to still making those. You know, like I always forget about him.
I'm angry that he no longer wants his shoe to be $95 because he thinks he wants prestige. But we had that conversation.
I'm mad he don't want his shoe to be fire anymore.
All right,
them joints used to be
Mookie.
Fire.
Do you not want me to ruin it for you or what? Mookie just hit his first homer of the playoffs.
I was recording it. See, that's fine.
Well, it's fine now because you saw what the score is. But Mookie just hit a home run.
Fam. I didn't even want to think about it. Man.
I mean, it was only a matter of time. That man led the NL in home runs, I think, in a regular season. It was only a matter of time before he hit one of the postseason. Now, he had played well. He had hit like 310. Yeah, but he had like, okay, so in the regular season, I think he had like 9 doubles. In the postseason, he already has 6 doubles.
And, I mean, for the season, he only had like, what, 17 home runs? 16?
Short
I mean,
year,
only 16
but I think it was 17 or 16. Pharrell, NMD, the next color's coming out, Dash Green. I think they're fire. I just, for some reason, that shoe being 220 rubs me the wrong way. Pause.
It's always been
like,
it's always been way too much. It's always been way too much money. It's always been way too much.
It comes to 238 with tax, and I'm like, fam, for an NMD, 238, that's too much. I know it's Pharrell. Oh, by the way, I don't know why you like that lacing system. Because you love HUs. And when I got that one in the mail, that was the first HU I had. And I was like, fam, this is so complicated and goofy.
Complicated. I mean,
I'm serious.
It's different. I like it.
I understand it's different. It's goofy.
It's tight.
Can you even leave them loose?
Them shoes suck. Yeah, because, I mean, you put your foot in it. It's almost impossible to get your foot in it. I mean, it's fire.
It doesn't suck. What did you say they suck for then?
No, I'm talking about the lacing. The shoe sucks. That netting over the thing, it sucks, man. Just give me a material. I hate that netting over it. And you know what?
To lace it, you mean?
No, the netting, that blue. Like, it's like a net.
On this shoe.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying. Oh, all right.
This shoe is, I love the model.
I think it's fire.
It's my favorite shit. Fam, you know what? I think I don't like either. I
put in for the raffle already on Adidas. Now, I don't know if I'm going to keep it. But yeah, I don't
understand Adidas. Like, what qualifies confirmed and not confirmed?
They did Yeezys. Some Yeezys unconfirmed, and this natural 350 on regular apps.
I looked on GOAT at the prices of the A shoe. They're like $400, $350.
Which one?
That one.
Oh, that one. Yeah, because this hasn't released yet.
But I had just read.
I got the other one. I barely was able to sell that joint.
But I just read that those are like supposed to be ultra limited, and I was like, well, why are these only 3? I read on Sneaker News. Maybe it was wrong or not. Maybe it's more than we think.
I mean, maybe that's why it's only unconfirmed. Who knows? What's the last day of this week? Is the Orange Skeletons this week, October 28th? No, that's next week.
7th?
Yep, that's next week. So the 25th is the last release. This says other Pharrell colorways are coming out, but it doesn't say. There's no pictures of them, so I don't know.
It's like a gray one. Like I think.
Oh my God!
What happened?
Look at the score, fam. They scored another run.
Nice.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think. We're going to talk about the series at some point, obviously, even though game 1 is pretty much over already. And I don't mean over based on the score. Granted, by the time people see this, relax. I'm just saying, like, I'm not trying to ruin it for anybody if they're, like, recording it. Now, granted, this is not going to come out till tomorrow, so the game's long over. But I seriously think the Rays are going to struggle to hit home runs in that stadium. I think that's the one advantage the Dodgers have is they've played so many games in that stadium already, and the Rays were playing in San Diego, which historically was a hard stadium to hit home run in until this year. When the Dodgers and Padres played each other in that stadium, it was home run derby. When they played each other in Houston, Dallas stadium, fam, they were hitting balls to like the warning track that would have gone out at 99% other stadiums. So the Rays scored 71% of their runs in the playoffs on home runs. But I don't think they quite knew what they were getting into when they came to this stadium, because like you can absolutely drill a ball in this stadium and you could catch it on the warning track. It might even go to the wall. Like the balls that Mookie caught at the wall, 2 of them I don't even think were going to go out. The one from Freeman in Game 7 would have gone out, but the 2 prior ones, I think he caught it like in front of the wall. The camera angle just made it look. The one he caught at the top of the high wall wasn't going out. No. Damn, he caught it below the top of the wall. And then no, he did.
Are you talking about the one?
No, the wall's super high, so it looks dope. But yeah, the one that right-hand man hit. No, trust me. Go watch the replay. It's not close to going over the wall. The other one he caught earlier in the game. Was it 3 games in a row when he caught a ball at the wall?
Yeah.
Or earlier on the series?
It was...
Because Freeman was Game 7, and that one would have gone out because that's a shorter wall. And then the one he caught at the tall wall from Ozuna would not have gone out. Now, it would have been a double, and they would have scored a run, but it would not have gone out. And I don't think the other one would have gone out either, but I don't remember who hit it or what game it was in. But anyways, my point, the Rays scored 71% of their runs on home runs again in the postseason. But they played in their home stadium, which I don't know if it's a home run park or not, but they're in their home stadium. And then they played 2 series in San Diego, which, like I said, normally is not a home run park, but for some reason this year the ball is flying out of that stadium. So I kind of thought, I didn't read, no one of all the like top analysts that I was reading articles about the World Series were talking about how the stadium might affect the Rays hitting, except like at the very end of Game 7, they were like, the Dodgers have the advantage because they've played here 10 games this year already.
It's home field
or
for
13 games because they played Texas in the regular season too. So that's what, at least early in the series, until the Rays maybe get used to it, I think that might hurt them. And if you go down 2-0, are you going to be able to come back against this Dodger team down 2-0?
If you go 2-0 down, you're not going to come back from this. Kershaw is dealing.
All right, just relax.
Fam, 8 strikeouts. He is out here throwing this ball. That the Rays have 2 hits, all right?
Throwing this ball.
The first
but their offense hasn't been good really the postseason except
who's going to pitch Game 2?
It's up in the air. They haven't announced it yet. So I hope what he does is, I hope he does the May Gonsolin thing again. Because if he does May and Gonsolin, that means that Walker Buehler will start on normal rest Game 3. And then both him and Kershaw can still get one more start on normal rest again in the series if necessary. If he does Walker Buehler tomorrow, I'm going to be upset. Because it'll be on short rest, and I don't know if he's ever started on short rest, and he has a blister. So,
yeah, somebody was talking about that. No, somebody was talking about how he was like had something on his hand, and he was
Urias. I think would be scheduled for. Under my plan, they'll do either Ginger Guard, who I'm sure Ricardo will get angry about that nickname, but I didn't make it up. But May or Gonsolin tomorrow, then Buehler in Game 3, and then Urias in Game 4. That's what I would like to see. And if the deeper Kershaw goes in this game tonight, the better for the bullpen. Because then you have, if you're up to what they're up right now in the 9th inning, they could put Alex Wood in for all I care. I mean, just clean up innings at that point.
I wonder when they're going to announce Game 2 pitcher. Like,
they don't have to do it till tomorrow.
I think that's it for releases. We'll talk about Warren Lotas.
For releases.
Warren Lotas versus Nike. So you are the only one who...
Well, that man thought that I was Lotus, apparently, so I thought my...
You know what?
I thought my tweet was pretty good.
That at first. I read it, and when he said that, I read it. Like, I read it, said that, like, oh, well, let's explain. But I didn't put 2 to 2 together. I was just like, oh, who is this, a White House correspondent? Who the heck is this guy? Like, whatever. But that was funny. That was super funny.
I thought it was good. I mean.
Oh, I thought it was really good. Nike is suing Lotus. Now, I didn't look at all the stuff that they want. I know you said, like, what, they want their hard drives? They wanted, like...
Sock told me that. He said if you look at the complex story, they said everything they want, which is basically like, fam, everything he owns, everything in the warehouse. He said they wanted, like, stickers, drawings, hard drives, everything. Sketches. So I'm just might as well tell this part soon, like the beginning, because it's content, and then we could go on the discussion. So I sent them an email, like my first email. I'm not gonna read it verbatim, but my first email was like, "Yo, so are y'all still making the shoes, or are you sending automatic refunds?" And they emailed me back, no joke, like probably like 20 minutes later, "We're still planning on making the shoes. Thank you for your support. Send back to me." Sock was like, "Nah, fam, just tell them you want a refund, because like, what if they make a shoe, but it's not a swoosh and it's just goofy, but they keep your money because they say we're delivering you a product." Now, I think my credit card company still would have my back, because I could show them the picture that I checked out and then the picture they delivered. So if they're different, I didn't buy on PayPal, but I don't buy on PayPal that much anymore anyways, but I'm pretty sure my credit card company would have my back. But I thought about that, and I was like, I could see them like a snake company like that, fam, doing something like that.
See, I didn't think nothing about that. Like I didn't think like they just might. They'll make a shoe, but nothing like you bought.
Fam, Nike wants the money. They want the money he made off of them. They want this man's gonna go out of business if that's the case. He better have the greatest lawyer ever. And that picture. So Sock told me that picture that I took was photoshopped. Now I don't know if the picture of Warren Lotas was photoshopped or someone had just photoshopped those words on it. But it was. It looked like it was from his account, because the name was at the top.
At the top. I thought he sent that.
So but I didn't care. I was like, I'm gonna take that anyways and put my head on it, because this man thinks this is who I am. Fam, that entire day was hilarious.
Oh yeah, that day was nuts.
Kai stuff was going on.
You know what?
Kai stuff we can't even talk about, by the way. But let's just say we have our bases covered.
Like, you know, that day was nuts. Now, because everybody else was talking about that, and I was like, I did something I never ever do, because I always felt not low down, but like I figured that somebody would just delete it. But I jumped in other people's tweets and posted our discussion.
Oh yeah,
and cats were like,
joint has like 500 likes on it.
They were like, "Who is this?" They were like, "Is this the PTI of sneakers? That's crazy."
Man, people who were adding the thing and talking crazy about me, I was taking screenshots and posting
that's always
it. Like,
funny, though.
Yeah, and then like certain people. Like one person has said that Lotus were fakes, and you know me. That's the one word I won't accept on this. I understand you don't like it, and we could talk about it. But fake is not a word I will accept, because he's not selling a Nike. And like, I posted a screenshot of the website that said Warren Lotus, Dunk, whatever. Now, if you say that Dunk makes people assume it's Nike, whatever. He's not selling.
No, not.
He's not Kick Who. Kick Who is like, look at these, what do they call them? God killers? Warren Lotus not doing that, all right? That's a fake. When you are intentionally trying to sell a Nike, but you know it's not a Nike, no, they're trying to sell Nikes.
Okay. What's a fake
I just said
sneaker?
that.
Okay.
Like Kick Who. I know there's another one that does it too, and they look, we talk to StockX employees all the time that say, look how close these are to reals.
Let's go back then. What's an authentic sneaker?
The one that a official retailer is going to sell you. Anyone who Nike authorizes to sell a shoe,
like made in a specific place.
Well, we don't know that, but yeah, we assume that Foot Locker's selling us a shoe. It's authorized by the manufacturer.
So authentic is authorized by the manufacturer, sold at retail places at the manufacturer,
by people who are authorized to sell it. Yeah,
made in the same
part of the production that is the authorized production.
Okay,
let's just say that.
Now, what's a fake?
A fake is anyone selling the shoe as that, but it's not that. Like they're putting it off as this is a Travis Scott 1, but it's clearly from a website like Kick Who or any of the Kick's Crew or any of those other ones.
See, I don't know if that makes it fake on like a Kick Who.
Why not? What do you mean? Kick Who's not saying this is a Kick Who Dunk. They're saying this is a Nike Travis Scott.
Well, they're using all the elements of the Nike and they leave it as a Nike Travis 1 Dunk, but they're not saying it's an authentic.
You're right, but they're trying to sell it as a Nike whatever that shoe is, as opposed to Warren Lotus is selling it as a Warren Lotus Dunk whatever.
Yeah, but like
what he called the pigeons was like flying rat sandal, which makes no sense. And he probably did that. He probably did that for thinking he wouldn't get sued. So that's another thing we got to talk about is the only reason he got sued probably is because he went overboard on sales. If he would have kept it to like, 500 pairs, 1,000 pairs on every shoe, I think he'd have been fine.
You know what someone said? Someone said that it was probably not us, just us, but like it was the internet. It was us talking about it.
Oh, yeah, it's possible.
Way too much.
Well,
like,
yeah, it was on everything. It was on our show. It was on Complex.
Everywhere.
It was on
I
Sneaker
honestly
News,
think that like... Actually, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I really don't know what to think about it. Like,
Damn, the funniest part
they're
about
not
it...
going to court
Listen,
about this.
I'm sure it'll be settled. The funniest part about it is like the same people who will yell at us about the Kai thing will then get mad at me for not calling that shoe a fake. And it's like, fam, you can't have it both ways. You can't yell at me for, or not even me, because I said Kai's shoe was fire. But they'll yell at you for doing the BMW talk you did, and then at the same time you'll call Lotus a fake, and they'll be mad at that. You can't be mad at two people doing the same thing.
I think the Lotuses are fire. They don't suck.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah. Now, see, this is where.
But you didn't buy, and then you made the point that you wouldn't do that because.
Yeah, because I'm not. Now, we've talked about this since forever. This podcast, what a replica is to me. Like, yes,
you use it in a different term, but yeah,
I do. But see, I think that's what you're doing with fakes.
No,
is a different way.
because you made. Hold on, let me say this. You made the word replica kind of funny by saying like Nike is making a replica of its own shoe. I understand that, but that's not the same as like another company making a replica because it's still Nike.
It's not. Because another company
you trying to say replica funny and then you saying replica serious manner is different.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Why would it be?
Another company can't. Okay, now I mean to call. I was calling Kai. I mean, not Kai.
No, Jordan 4 cement white is the first thing.
I was calling Lotus replicas.
Go back further.
Lotuses are fakes.
Yes, they're not fakes. Go back further. When you said 2012 white cements,
it's a replica.
Didn't have Nike Air. It had the Jordan. Yeah, and then they came out again with the correct color blocking, and you said, "Fam, these are replicas." Everyone laughed. It's funny.
No, it's for real.
It can't be for real if they're both authentic shoes.
No, replica doesn't mean whether it's not authentic or not. Replica means you made something that looks like this, but something's different about it.
Then what does retro mean? That's what a retro is for.
So that's my whole point.
No,
with
that's
all
different.
No, because I think I did an episode by myself where I talked about what the heck is a replica and retro and all that.
Fam, don't tell me you were trying to be serious when you said that. You were being.
I'm 100% serious.
You were joking.
No, I'm not.
Well, people took you as joking.
But I'm being serious. It's like if
even people who like what you said and thought it was funny didn't think you were like 100% serious about this is a replica.
It's like if you clone a goat. People were trying to clone goats and stuff.
Let's not do that.
But I'm saying, okay, you
this
can't
ain't Charlotte's
say,
Web, fam.
You know what? Okay, you know what I'm saying.
Yes, I know what you're saying, but I never thought that you thought that seriously.
I feel that. I'm sorry. It's a replica.
I know you feel that way, but I thought you were saying it to be funny.
Both. Because it makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Fam, you can't call this a Jordan 4 cement. This is a version of a Jordan 4 cement.
So you just want to change the name?
Because, fam, they're like, yo, the Jordan 4 cement's coming out. No, they're not. This is something like it.
Well, you didn't say that till way after.
No, but I'm saying, like, we can't be like, when did the Jordan 4 come out? 89? Jordan 4 white cement 89 has cement that looks a certain way, Nike Air on the back, and some few things.
Right.
And then it's like, whenever it retroed again, it was like...
Yeah, but we were hype in 2012, and we both bought it. So we can't act like...
No. We don't have a choice when stuff like that happens.
No, we do now.
No,
we didn't then. We do now.
We do now because we're smart enough to say, okay, they're going to release it eventually.
Yes, exactly.
Like me buying 6 pairs of black infrareds that had Jordan Jump in the back and wasn't even the right infrared.
Well,
I jumped out
what
the
you
window.
should have done is just resold them for.
I did eventually. I mean, something. I don't know what I got now. I think I got like 1, 2, but I got the OG version with the Nike on the back as well.
Play golf in
now,
like the first week.
You're right, but now, like I said, a replica to me doesn't mean it's fake. A replica to me means it's like, oh yeah, it's like
Well, then you got to be specific about that because I guarantee 95% of the sneaker community thinks replica means fake.
No. Now, to me, Lotuses are fake because it's not even made. It has to me. Authentic includes being made at the Nike place.
But
like at the Nike factory.
But no one said it was an authentic Nike. They're just saying it's an authentic Lotus shoe.
Yeah, but like it has too many elements to make it an authentic Lotus. Like
why?
Because I hate bringing up Kai, but at least Kai used a lightning bolt. He still used a swoosh. He just put Jason face on it. Like, it's still a swoosh.
I mean,
it's
I don't feel that strongly one way or the other about it to,
I really don't
get to that
either.
point, but like
I don't. Now, like I said, to me, a replica is when.
I understand.
Yeah, but
this is for crazy,
new listeners.
but I understand.
This is for new listeners, the people who are just.
Well, then you got to make this a clip, because I'll tell you what. Now the podcast doesn't even matter. The clips mean everything.
Facts. Facts.
Because people don't watch the show, or listen. Plenty of people do, and we get a lot. And like obviously our main listeners do. But what goes crazy on
everything
viral is the clips.
Because I'm waiting for the first person to be like,
talking about
fam,
cats
look
from
at this
Virginia.
cat. Dodgers had Astros jersey. Did you start the podcast and listen? This was a bet.
If you don't clip it, then no one will say that.
Here is...
You should do the clip, actually, of the bet. You explaining it. That's actually a good clip.
Put it in a story or something.
No. Do the clip of that.
A replica sneaker, to me, is... You have an OG Jordan, OG Nike Air on the back.
You talking about everything about it?
Everything about it is this is the OG, this is the original.
So what if they retro it and they make it exactly the same way? Is that a replica?
No, it's an OG. It's.
Fam, I'm gonna shoot you.
No, no, it's an OG. It's just remade. It's remade.
Yes, now you're gonna start using Nike word remastered.
If you can, I mean, kind of.
Don't do that.
They're coming out with another Cement 4 that they're changing up. It looks fire.
Yeah, but it's not approximating the original. It's like
it's not. It's a new thing.
Yeah,
but
it's fine.
To me, if you put the Jumpman on the back and take the Nike Air, this is a replica. Do not tell me this is a Jordan 4 Cement. You can call it that all you want. This is not a Jordan 4 Cement. To me.
Yeah, but
this is like, it's close enough. It's a version.
Hold on.
Now, we lost our mind and bought it because we haven't had the OG.
I don't care what sneakerheads call stuff, but if Nike puts that on the box intending to be a white cement Jordan 4, why would I argue with them?
I went and looked at all my boxes just to make sure what I was saying made sense. And
you don't still have both of them, do you?
I have the Nike Air in the back, but not the Jumpman.
Okay, so you sold 12 and kept 18 or 16 or whatever it is? All right.
And the box says OG retro, maybe retro. One of those. And
Which
then
one? The current one?
Yes. And then in the other box just says Jordan 4 retro, maybe. They say something different.
You smoking it?
They say something different. Like, so look, to me, like I said, you know what? Whatever. Replicas, fakes, whatever. Warren Lotus's sneaker is way too close to Nike one. It's way too close. It's not even, it's way too close, period. Same sole, same midsole, same everything. You take the swoosh off and put a WL and all that, same thing. Okay. Now, being sued by Nike. I find it amazing that Nike would waste their time with this because, I mean, yes, he's going to make a lot of money off of it, but he's going to keep it going. He's already dropped what? Heineken's, Stussies, Freddy Krueger's?
Well, if he does, he'll have to come up with a different way to do it because, like I said, So anyways, let me go back to that story real quick and then we can finish it. So I sent the thing that said, what's going to happen? They said, we're still planning on making the shoe. Thank you for your support. Then I screenshotted that. I think I sent it to you and I sent a sock and he was like, nah, just say like, I want to be refunded because I don't want something that looks different. I want what I paid for. Fam, the refund is already in my account. They refunded. I was surprised by that. Joint went quick like this.
I was surprised by that because I expected no response.
Content, y'all laughed or whatever. Yes, I did ask for a refund, but it's better than me losing out on $317.
I don't think you would have ever lost out on it. Ever.
Well, the credit card company had my back, but yeah, but it's easier just to ask them to do that. Oh, and Simple, by the way, Simple got an email from like their legal team.
Oh yeah, see, I didn't.
He screenshot that and sent it to you. Oh, he sent an email back, and I was like, "Fam, what email address is that? That looks like that's not even from Lotus, man." Because I got it from Lotus customer service, and he was like, "I didn't even notice that," and it was literally from something that looked like law firm or
Learner and Row
or yes. If he has Learner and Row, he ain't getting off, man.
Done.
Pause.
He's going to jail.
Anyways,
look, like we said, they ain't going to court. Lotus ain't going to be on the defendant side, and Nike isn't going to be on the prosecutor. Or the prosecutor, they're not. Okay,
I think cats out there really think it's going to be like the OJ trial.
No,
I'm dead serious.
No,
like
they do.
They really think so.
I think Nike is going to just scare the crap out of them, and he's going to have to figure something out. Now, Lotus's, I looked at prices on them. They seem to be doing all right.
On what? The ones that I canceled? Or the other ones?
Like
the other ones are. Yeah,
they've always been doing all right, but like they seem to be going up.
Nike can't do nothing about those. Those are already out in public.
Well, you can't?
How are you going to make someone in public give a shoe back?
If you can kind of not give a shoe back, but like
they can say Lotus give the money the profits you made.
That's what I mean.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Like I don't really know nothing about Warren Lotus that much. I know I'm surprised at Nike's action about this. Do I feel like they have grounds to sue? Of course they do. The shoe, it looks exactly like it. Like it's exactly like it. Now Jeff Staples' whole thing with it, you know, it said Nike unfollowed him, all that stuff. I don't even understand.
After he signed off or before?
After when the lawsuit stuff came out, they unfollowed Jeff Staples.
So he wasn't already in. I figured he was already in bad news with him or whatever.
I mean, maybe some inner working stuff, but like unfollowed on Instagram or whatever, supposedly, and all that. I don't know anything about that. I don't understand the whole ins and out of the Jeff Staple endorsing Warren Lotus besides whatever he posted on Instagram or Twitter or whatever it was. I don't understand it. Like, I don't understand getting in bed, you know, with somebody like Warren Lotus versus what you've built with Nike. I don't know anybody who buys staple clothing, okay? Staple clothing is at like, you know, Marshalls and stuff, I think. Like, I don't know anything about staple clothing anymore. But staple sneakers, colorways and stuff like that is legendary no matter what sneaker comes out.
Right.
Like Clark's, New Balances, Cole Haan, not Kenneth Cole, Cole Haan, Nike, all these brands have worked with staple. I just don't understand why you would ruin that relationship with them. Now, people would send me pictures of like a new staple dunk that was supposed to come out. It was a high. It's ugly. It's whack. It was a high, but I don't know what happened to it. Like, I don't know if it got canceled or pushed back or whatever. I had seen it one time a long time ago, but I completely forgot. I think Rick sent it to me. I don't know. Lotus Man is in trouble. That picture of him wearing that suit with that skull ring, I don't know if that's real or not, or he's like, let's fight, or whatever he said on that post. He's not going to win a legal battle against Nike. Nike will draw this out if they want to.
If that's real, yeah.
What's going to happen is that they're just going to keep this going to where he can't release it. Like, if they still plan on making it, it ain't going to get to anybody in, what was it, 8 weeks?
No, 3 to 4 months.
3 to 4 months?
Yeah.
We'll check back in what, April? What month is this? Like, I don't know where we're at right now. February?
I think people calculated that you would get it in February, March. I think.
Look, authentics, fakes, replica. Lotus Man is in trouble, whether he thinks he is not, whether a lot of you guys think he is or not. And like George said, I know a lot of you think like, yo, this is crazy. It just isn't going to be on C-SPAN or whatever that channel is that show the inside of the courtroom. It ain't going to be there.
It'll be settled.
Fam, I think that is funny. I think it's expected. And I do feel like some of these other cats that are doing stuff probably a little shook. Like a little bit.
Somebody said that people went and deleted like their posts.
That's what someone told me.
Who do that kind of stuff.
I don't know if they did or didn't. 'Cause I didn't go look.
Yeah,
but
but
some say they did. And
yeah, I mean, you're just gonna have to find now. If again, I think it was because he did the numbers he did, and everybody started talking about it. So if you don't do that, and even like with Kai and whatever else, if you don't do a swoosh looking thing, or use the name. Because Warren Lotus did say dunk. Like, I'm not a lawyer, but in my opinion, I think why they are coming after him is because the word dunk is trademarked. Nike owns the trademark to the word dunk for a shoe. No one else can call a shoe a dunk.
Nike doesn't own the soles and all that.
No, they may own that too, but if he's printing something with a WL on the bottom, Nike can't say this is a Nike shoe. It depends how I'm assuming it's how the patent is written. But if
I mean, it has to be. Like, I've never seen...
They own the trademark to dunk, though. They do. I know that for a fact.
I just don't understand how this is
That's why you don't
happening.
see, like, Payless Dunk. You can't. It's trademark.
I mean, I'm still giving out the information for cats who want to make their own journal with you. Yeah, yo, hey, what's up, man? I love the show. Do you still got that information?
Oh, which, by the way, I think somebody had told me, I think it was Sock told me we need to make another hat, by the way. And I think we should do a new era fitted. Because cats nowadays we charge what, 35 for ours and shipping? Cats nowadays, 45? Oh yeah, you pocketing money, fam.
No, they're like, I don't know what it is. I mean, shipping is freaking expensive on the house. I forgot what it is.
$5.
I don't want to charge on them.
Fam, let me do it.
No, you're supposed to.
No. You can do the design. I'll just tell you what I want you to do.
Oh,
I don't
no.
I don't
gotta do all that.
No, I don't want to do that.
No, you gotta do it and ship it.
Nope. I'll ship it. But
all of it.
No, I don't want to do that.
Fam, I'll give you the email. Email them about how to get New Era fitted hats because I don't even know how to get New Era fitted. I've looked up like how to buy bulk New Era fitted. I don't know what to do, so I'm gonna hit them up.
Well, why don't we ask?
Yeah, I'm gonna get. No, we are.
And what I want to do is we just did the S before.
It's expensive, man.
But as long as it's one logo connected, you can do more, right? Isn't that what you told me? So you know the San Diego Padres logo? Let's just add a P on there.
I mean, we
sneak this podcast, but not make it look like the Padres logo. You know what I mean? Like slightly change it up.
I've always thought about that SD on there because I don't want it to look like Padres.
A side patch.
Yeah. I was drawing a side patch.
Right, but people are like used to now paying $55 for a hat shipped. So it's like, I mean, we do it.
Yeah, but it's
for a New Era fitted, people would do it.
Yeah, but the problem is with the fitteds is that snapback, you can pay a certain amount, and it's one size fits all. You're gonna have to
do a pre-order.
I hate that, man. I hate pre-orders.
Why?
Man.
Fam, if you
because I don't want to do it. I do it.
No, you still do the design and everything in ahead of time, and then you just tell them how much you need of each size.
Yeah, but it's like, yo, it'll be here 8 to 10 weeks. I hate that, man. I always wanted this. That's why it took so long for us to even do something, because I always want to have it and pay, ship next day. I always want to do that.
Happen,
well, with fitted, I'm like, what do we make? 10 size 7s, 10 size 7.5, 10 size 7.4s, 10, like, how many do you make of a size?
Why you do a pre-order?
I can't do that. No.
Yes, we can. We've waited this long. People can wait longer. I mean, let's be honest here. People are doing pre-orders for
You're right.
For pink and yellow.
But this coming from a sneaker podcast, not from a hat club. It's a.
I mean,
I don't know, man. I hate pre-orders from I love pre-orders from a company.
I hope everybody gets on your back
because it's the opportunity to buy it. If I'm from a sneaker podcast, hey, you want that much? I got you.
I think you're underestimating how much people want us podcast.
You're right.
And I hate merch, but I don't even look at it as it's merch if it's a New Era fitted hat. That's how. I'm not making
the colors.
I'm not making you a goofy T-shirt and selling a T-shirt to you for $35. I'm gonna sell you something you can wear with your T-shirt as much as you want.
I want.
You could bend it.
Underbrims.
You could. Man, you don't stop. You could bend it. You could do. I'm just saying, you can style it out. You can put what does man do? He puts the logos in the back and puts all his own stuff on there. You could do it whatever you want.
Fam, you gotta design it. Pick the colors, man.
I'm not designing it. Now you design it, and then I'll do all the rest of the steps. I'll pay for it and do whatever else.
I thought the point of you doing it is for you to design it.
No, I didn't agree with that.
Oh my God, you think I'm about to design it?
No. Now we can discuss it, but.
Oh no, you gotta design it.
No, the second one you didn't even tell me. You were like, you're gonna find out if I was a listener or something. So no, we're not doing that.
No, I asked you the colors and everything on that one.
No, you didn't. You didn't even tell me it was coming in the box or nothing. I didn't know what the hat was gonna look like.
What are you talking about? I sent you and Simple the pictures. Simple's like, yeah, that one's kind of fire. What are you talking about?
I don't know. You might have. Okay, so you may have sent that, but you didn't tell me what the final version was. Dead serious.
Final version?
I'm dead serious.
It's just an S on a white hat. That's exactly what I sent.
Okay. I didn't know what it was going to look like. I'm serious.
I don't know, man.
I'm telling you.
I did an unboxing. Video.
I was like, okay, so tell me about it. And you were like, just wait till you get it.
Oh, you mean all the added stuff? Yeah.
Everything.
I didn't do all the added stuff. The hat pictures I sent you.
No, I don't think so.
Anything else about Lotus Nike?
No, I just want to do the content. Asking for the cancel was funny because I know people can get on me about oh, you wanted that shoe so bad. No, but it's not coming out. That's the whole point.
No, you made a good point of why you canceled it, and okay, yeah, that was good.
Fam, if it came with they did all them jokes. If it came with a gavel?
I'm not
keeping that.
Been dying.
Yeah, you right. So you know what I did? I saved my own skin. Huh?
He could have changed it to a pigeon wing or something.
Fam, you think I want that?
Fam, I don't understand how come Jeff Staples didn't sell it on Staple website. If that was the case, endorse selling on Staple site.
Might have.
Yeah, right. What else you talking about? I know I had upcoming sneakers on here because I really didn't have much topics, but we might as well keep going.
You had leaks. Pause.
Yeah, man, I don't know if you have any. I really don't got leaks, and I was thinking more upcoming sneakers the new Sakai Waffle, Jordan 5, things like that. I wrote a couple down.
I mean, you could just say what they are, and if you're trying to cop.
The Sakai Vapor Waffle, the new Sakai version.
Yeah, with the like
fire,
crazier back.
Fire.
I think
they're going for way too much though.
The shoe front part, middle part is good. The back part, I don't understand that, fam. They doing way too much.
Them joints are fire. Like the original pics of them, I thought were whack, but them joints, I don't
want to say they're not. I don't want to say they're trash or not fire, but I don't understand the back. Pause. What is that?
I went on Goat to like see what they're going for. Like, man, if they're like $450, them just $1,000. Some are $999. All right, 99 cents. All right, I'm not paying that. Them joints are fire, and I love my Sakai. I beat my Sakai to trash now. I need more. Jordan 5, what the? You seen that, right?
Yeah.
Two different shoes.
Wait. Oh, Jordan 5? Yeah.
One like looks like a Tokyo, one's like red. Them joints are fire. If I wore Jordan 5s, I cop those. Actually, I might cop those.
You ain't copping those. I mean, you might cop them a flip, but you ain't copping them wear.
Well, if they come on those sneakers, I ain't doing nothing. The raffle, I'm not doing a single thing. They all right. They fire.
Nah.
I really don't know what else I'm talking about. Infrared Air Max 90s, you buying those at retail?
Infrared, yes, I am.
For retail?
Well, you know what we do. We buy for retail. If it comes out cheaper, then we return it. That's how it works.
I don't understand.
I'll buy it on sneakers or whatever. The
Air Max 90 Infrared should have came out this year. They should have already came out. Like, I don't understand why it's coming out so late this year. Like, people were talking about that, like rumors, I guess, talking about those way earlier this year. All of a sudden, it's like into 2020. Man, stop that nonsense. All right, nobody cares about infrared.
Infrared 90s, I'm copying. I'm not gonna say I'm like. I'm not gonna say I've been like this on them. I'm copying just because it's for the culture. I mean, and I need to check actually the date on the inside of the one that I own, because obviously we have the Hyperfuse one, but I have. It's not an OG, but it's probably from the last decade. It's probably from like 07, 08, something like that.
I think I have one.
And that joint is destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, the infrared by the air bubble, I mean, I don't even think it's there anymore. I think it's just foam now.
I don't know if mine's that bad, but it looks like I cut the grass, took the trash out.
Did a bunch of stuff in it.
Car ran over my feet.
I think I popped the air bubble on purpose.
And not the invisible car from Atlanta either.
Yo, that's not coming back for 3 more years, I think they said.
It's all right. We got Fargo.
Air Jordan
Watch Fargo if you haven't watched Fargo. It is the best show on television.
I haven't started a single
episode. By
far. Jordan 1 Japan Midnights highs.
Oh, we got the lows. SBs. I mean, I
didn't like these. I'm trying to cop.
The listeners know that I'm like this. I'm trying to flip everything.
I don't understand why you so high on the brown, the mocha high. Like, you have like...
Because it's a Travis Scott shoe. Yeah. I'm going to just keep saying that just to be funny. Like, yeah, obviously it's not.
You have like made a stance in the cement on highs. Like, you have no desire to have a high. Only one that you talk about regularly is
Turbos. Is the only ones. I'm gonna go back and rebuy Turbos because that was the greatest mistake of my life. Okay. Not my life, but...
Last one I got on here is Jordan 5 Off-Whites, the sale colorway or whatever. I don't think...
They suck.
They do suck. They suck. The other color, the first colorway?
It's all right.
Immaculate. All right, you got to see them in person on foot. Them joints are fire, all right? I want those, all right? Now, that one...
Fire's a bit much.
Did you send me the picture of the one I should have bought? It was like at, Phoenix sold for like $550? Should have bought that, but money was weird then. It was pre-owned, but fam, $550.
Damn, you got stacks of money.
No, I'm zero.
You got stacks. I
got PlayStation 5.
You have wealth.
All right.
That's another thing. I can't wait till we get those. I need to flip all of them. Yeah, unless I pay for one, keep it.
Gotta get rid of those. Might cancel those. That's all I got for upcoming sneakers. I really don't know. Let's talk. What we got? Football picks still. We got top 10 still. What time is it?
Oh, it's going to be a long show. People like it.
Nah, we good.
They might skip the first 40 minutes, but...
That was something else I was going to say, but I can't remember. I don't know. Like I said, we're going to do top 10 non-Nike Adidas sneakers. We still got football picks and World Series talk for a little bit. Actually, I really don't got much to say about the World Series. I was going to ask you, though. This is what I was going to say about the World Series. This is what I was going to say about the World Series. Consider that this year is different. Like, the other 2 years of losing the World Series... They sucked, but like we didn't get like the best player in baseball after those.
We were here recording during Game 7 against the Astros, so I was giving you updates on the show. People can go back and watch that one and see how like distraught my face was. But I've never actually watched a losing. Maybe I did watch the one against Boston, actually, the clinch game, because that was the game when Puig hit. like a 3-run homer or something to go up 4-0, and then the Dodgers like immediately blew. It wasn't like in the 6th inning or something, and at home, and then they immediately blew the game.
If they lose this World Series, does it still suck as much as any other ones?
I think it'd be worse because they're right now they're a bigger favorite than they've ever been in the World Series. So in 2018, the Red Sox were a favorite. In 2017, I want to say the Dodgers were a slight favorite, but the teams were evenly matched, like them and the Astros, and it was borne out by the series.
Wait, Boston? You mean
Boston 2018? Boston.
Oh, not against the Dodgers.
Yes. 2018, they lost to Boston.
I thought it was the Nationals.
They lost to the Nationals last year. 2019 was the Nationals, but they're in the National League, and that was at home. They blew 3-1 lead or whatever. Kershaw came in to be the reliever for no reason.
I keep forgetting about Boston.
Stupid. But 2018 was Boston. Boston was favored. I don't think the Red Sox were that much better than the Dodgers as the series played out because the MVP of the series was Steve Pence. He's terrible. Or not Steve. Is it Pence? Pierce. Steve Pierce. He's terrible. For his entire career, he's terrible. That's another one of those things where, like, a guy is terrible for his entire career. And by terrible, I don't mean like one of the worst players ever, but he won World Series MVP. Get the fuck out of here. All right. The Dodgers had Boston had Mookie Betts. The Dodgers had Bellinger, Turner when he was a little bit younger, Max Muncy in his first year with the Dodgers when he was on fire, Jock when he was better. None of these dudes won the MVP. Or Chris Sale or Kershaw, Steve Pierce. Nah, man, I'm not here for that. Now, Ricardo probably loved it. He probably at home right now clapping it up. Steve Pierce. Yes, I like it when crazy people that shouldn't win the MVP win the MVP.
If you earn it, you can get it.
No, that's not the point. I'm not saying he didn't earn it. I'm saying he had no business being a hero. That's one of the biggest problems about baseball that I have is in the NBA, you might have someone like Steve Kerr or whatever who makes a last-second shot, but you're not going to have someone like Steve Kerr be an MVP and take over multiple games and help you win. You get that more than any other sport in baseball and hockey because the sports are so random. Your 9th-place hitter can be the MVP of the series. It's ridiculous. That's why I can't watch playoff baseball until the World Series because at least when your team is expected to be there. If you're like the Raiders, that's why I always tell this story. The Raiders have zero expectations, or I should say I have zero expectations for the Raiders. So if they play well, or like I'm pessimistic during the game, you saw how I was acting against the Chiefs. If I'm pessimistic or they play well, I'm excited. But if the Dodgers don't play well, I'm disappointed because they're the #1 seed. They're favored to win. They've been the favorites at the beginning of the season. So it's a different dynamic. When your team is the favorite and they don't win constantly 8 years in a row, that's frustrating and I don't want to deal with that. But when your team is bargain basement and they're on the way up, then you can deal with losing. Like the Kings hockey team won 2 Stanley Cups. Fam, that was bonus championships for the city of Los Angeles. No one expected the Kings. Now, maybe the second year they expected the Kings to win it. But the first year, the Kings were the 8 seed. They were the first 8 seed in NHL history to win the championship, I think.
That was the first one ever? I mean, the first 8 seed?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh. I thought Carolina. Didn't Carolina win it?
I mean, you testing my hockey knowledge at that point.
Well, no, not Carolina. Calgary. I thought Calgary was an 8 seed in the 1 year.
Yeah, I think you're just making that up.
With not Iguodala, but
so again, and for anyone who's maybe like new-ish or whatever, just came to the show based on all that crazy stuff. I'm not a Laker fan, even though I'm from LA. I grew up a Jordan fan, Bulls fan. So, like the Bulls are terrible. I don't expect anything of them. So anything they get is a bonus. Like when Derrick Rose was there, I was like mystified how the franchise went from trash to that good in a short period of time.
Dramatically.
But with the Dodgers, it's just ultimate disappointment. So it's like I said, it's like when you have expectations, it's just expectations. When you have expectations and you lose, it's trash. But when you don't have expectations and you win, it's kind of like, oh, happy accident.
I think it's because of the amount of games played this season. Like the Dodgers, we know how the Dodgers are in 82 games, 62 game, whatever season. We know how they play throughout an entire year, and then when it comes to the playoffs, it gets a little shaky.
Well, same thing happened this year until they made the comeback.
This is like because the Dodgers are clearly a better team than Atlanta, but Atlanta was playing way better baseball than we were
for the first 4 games.
Now, if
The Dodgers ended up outscoring them by 6 runs in the series, which is almost a run per game, which is probably the difference in the team's talent. I mean, I'm just being honest.
I don't know how I would feel about the Dodgers losing this year if they did, because I feel like this is a perfect season set up for them to do it. And I know a lot of people are going to be like,
no, the opposite.
What?
It is. It's the most random baseball season of all time because
it is.
More teams made the playoffs, so they changed the rule for making the playoffs. Normally, that many teams wouldn't make it.
Oh, yeah.
So that's one. So the Dodgers had to face a horrendous Brewers team. No team under 500 had ever made the playoffs because of the rule. Also, the Brewers at no point this season were over 500, like even 1-0. They were never over 500 the entire season. That's never happened in baseball history for a team to make the playoffs. Again, because every team that made the playoffs has been over 500. So to have to play a 3-game series, which is complete random variance against a team that bad, you saw what it was. I think the first game was 4-1 or 4-2, and the next game was like 3-0. The Dodgers didn't hit in that series. Now, they won because Milwaukee's terrible, but that could have been the perfect example. It was like last year they lost to the Nationals in the first round. They had no business losing to the Nationals, but the Nationals at least had 3 pitchers they can line up that are really, really good and some guys who can hit. Now, Howie Kendrick had no business hitting a grand slam in Game 5. He had no business, OPSing 950 or whatever he OPSed last season. But that's sometimes what you run into in baseball, just a random thing where someone beats you who has no business beating you. Howie Kendrick was a Dodger for 4 or 5 years, and yes, he was okay, but he was not OPSing 950.
I feel like if they lost the World Series this year, it wouldn't bother me as much as it did the other years, only because we have Mookie Betts.
I said that at the very beginning. The most important thing for me was signing Mookie to a 12-year deal, not them winning the championship this year. But when you get this far, it changes.
Yeah,
it's different now. Now the expectation is different.
Like I feel like those other years get it to the World Series. Like I really didn't with Betts. I'm like, okay, well, we should. Like, we're still the best baseball team. Like we should still get to the World Series. But like for some odd reason, Betts is so good that I feel like if we don't win it this year, we'll win it next year. Well, but I'm worried about the Dodgers in a full season. Like a full season.
No, it's different. Like I said, you have fewer playoff teams. The
playoff setup is different. I'm talking about them as players individually. They start out kind of weird sometimes.
That's
the Dodgers
just baseball. They go like this.
I mean, yeah, because you can get on a freaking. You can go from 5th to 1st in a month. Like
listen. When the bigger sample size you have, the more the teams separate from talent-wise. So the fact that the Dodgers were on pace to win 116 games if they played 162 is nuts in a 60-game sample. They said the best 60-game samples from like the Dodgers last year had a 60-game sample where they were under 500, and they won 106 games last year or whatever.
Most ever, right?
So what?
Was it the most ever Dodgers won?
In their franchise history, yes, but not the record for MLB wins.
Yeah, not for
116
baseball, for
by
Dodgers.
the Mariners and by like the 06 Yankees or St. Louis or something. I don't know. But yeah, so they're on pace in a 60-game season to win 116 games. That's crazy. They've never been on that pace before. You know what I mean? So like this season was complete. Number one, it happened in the year 2020, which is the dumbest year on record. So that already randomness is going to creep in. Number 2, more playoff teams. Like I said, having to play a bad team in the first round where you only need to win 2 games to advance. Milwaukee could absolutely play the Dodgers in a 3-game series and beat them randomly.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why. And then you got to play San Diego, who was the second best NL team in the second round. That makes no sense.
That's why,
Dodgers were lucky San Diego's top 2 starters were not healthy. Because San Diego's better than Atlanta.
I thought San Diego, I was worried about San Diego, and we slapped San Diego around.
Well, Atlanta's good too. I mean, there's no
but Atlanta's a good baseball team. But Atlanta, they got Acuna and they got Freddie. Like they're a good team, but Atlanta historically has just a disappointing franchise and whatever. And I think last year was Atlanta last? Like in their division or baseball?
I don't know.
They were awful, I think.
Well, the Nats came back and won the division, I think. That's why they made the playoffs. But I don't know if I don't think the Braves were
awful.
last.
Maybe the year before.
The year before they went to the playoffs and the Dodgers beat them. That was when they traded for Machado. Dodgers traded for Machado. They beat Atlanta in the 3-game series, the NLDS, 2 years ago.
Are you going to the game?
I'm going to Dallas. And I'll be there for Friday.
I've been going back and forth
Friday
with
through
this.
Tuesday, I'll be there. I'm going to try to go to the game. Tickets for today's game went all the way down to like almost $100 per ticket by first pitch. It's a Tuesday.
They went down by $100 or went?
No, they went down too. Some tickets were $100 for today's game, like
I didn't know that.
when first pitch happened. So once the Dodgers made the series, prices spiked.
It went through the roof.
So yeah, so the cheapest ticket that I saw the other night was like $900. I'm not paying $900 per ticket, but what my plan is to get there, maybe wait until after first pitch happens and see if you can catch something on the app for two people, because just Hannah and I going.
Oh, she's going now?
Yeah, she was always going.
Oh, I thought it was just you.
No, because she flies for free, so she might as well go, companion pass. But yeah, my goal now is to land. We probably won't. I think game 4 is Friday. So assuming I'm not going to do any stupid talk here, assuming it's not a sweep.
It's a sweep.
It might be, but assuming it's not a sweep, I don't, because I don't think we would land in time to go to game 4. Like if the Dodgers are up 3-0, I might just cancel the trip. I don't think they will be, because the nature of baseball, like the Rays are a really good team. Yeah. I don't think they have quite the talent the Dodgers do, but in a 7-game series, anything's possible. We've seen that. Dodgers have lost plenty of playoff series over the last 8 years. So I have everything booked as of right now. Hotel stay, car, rental, flight, everything.
I'm really thinking about it. I'm still thinking about it. I looked at flights last night, and flight's cheap.
Yeah.
That's still cheap. Weird hours and stuff to leave, but I don't care.
Yeah, that's what kind of weirded me out about everything. I was like, how is this all so cheap with the World Series being there? But I think COVID just has changed everything. Like, the only thing that's expensive is the car.
I saw the flights, and I was like, okay, this is only like $400 round trip. And I was like, that's cheap. And I was like, should I find somebody? I mean, I know cats, and I'll find somewhere to lay down. Like, I don't care. But everybody, Ruby's going, her family's going, parents. I feel like I'm supposed to. I didn't plan it out right. Like, I just didn't think about it.
About this like a month ago. Now, the one thing
you told me about this 2 weeks ago at the bar. I had no idea you had.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Yeah, but that's still enough time to get.
Yeah, but at that time, I think Atlanta was up 3-1 or something.
No, this series hadn't even started yet.
No, we was at the bar
on that Sunday. I think it started the next day. It started like Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yo, yeah, I was wearing my Dodger stuff that night. Maybe it was. I don't remember. I wore my Dodger stuff that Sunday. Look, man,
I'll be in Dallas, assuming it's not 3-0. I don't know if I'll be able to get into a game because I'm not going to pay astronomical price, but I'll wait. I don't mind missing first pitch or missing whatever to get a ticket price down to $200.
I might miss the first 3 innings to go.
Yeah, whatever. Just say you went to the World Series game.
While you're in Dallas, go set the Cowboy Stadium on fire.
All right. Apparently they're right next, not like right next to each other, but like pretty close.
That's why I love going that area, because the Rangers, I mean, it's there. Six Flags is like there. Like it's the XFL Stadium is like there. Like it's.
Well, that doesn't exist anymore.
Well. Yeah. Yeah, it does.
The league doesn't exist. The stadium might. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, The Rock bought it.
I mean,
it exists.
I mean,
now y'all go to that Dallas, the whatever it's called. Who's cracking there? But I don't know how cracking it is now with COVID. But it's cracking.
I'm not trying to go do anything crazy because I know there's a bar right there by the stadium. Like
tons of stuff in there.
Tim told me about. Oh, so that's who's going. I think you got sat with Tim at the wedding, right? Didn't you sit with Tim and his wife?
Oh, they're going. Oh,
what do you mean?
I feel like everybody name is Tim. Like I have no idea.
Man, what? Not a single person who was at the bar when you were there the other day named Tim.
I feel like everybody is named Tim. But yo, shout out to Tim. That's the homie. He always likes our stuff.
He's an Angel fan, but he always does stuff like this because he knows. I mean, I ain't trying to be mean. Like he got to see an Angels championship in 2002, but I think he knows he's never going to be able to go see Trout in a World Series. I don't think so.
But what's his name got hurt? What, Shoney? Whatever his name is.
He ain't that good.
Don't do that.
Did you see what he hit this year? Fam,
okay.
It was not pretty.
He just got off of what surgery? Oh, no, he was supposed to get Tommy John's.
He played last year. Oh, okay. He played last year.
He was doing okay.
He played last season after surgery, but only as a hitter.
The Afros, I mean, the Angels are just a trash team. Like, they're just, I love the Angels.
With fire hats.
Yeah, they do have fire
Fam,
hats.
I used to go to Angel games all the time with my stepdad because he was a Orioles fan, and that was before interleague play. So we would go to Angel games when the Orioles would be in town.
I've only been to like one Angels game, maybe 2.
Dead serious.
What else? I mean, you got the Dodgers winning, right? You pick the Dodgers?
I would hope so.
Don't do that. Dodgers are sweeping the
Yeah, but
Rays,
you know me. I don't do stuff like that. So
Well, you should on this one. Don't do it with
if someone
else.
said pick a series winner, yeah, I'm going to pick the Dodgers. Not because it's my team, but they're super duper favorite in the series. Especially if they win tonight, then they're going to a super even higher level favorite.
What are we? Isn't the Dodgers like the largest favorite in baseball World Series history or something this year?
I don't think so. I mean, the number was high, and then I looked on 538's projection website, so they're projected 70% favorite. But that also means that the favorite loses 30% of the time. That's a lot. I mean,
we'll see, man. I got them sweeping them. I got to be an
they got to close the game out tonight.
I'm excited. All right.
Well, if they sweep them, then I may cancel my trip because I would only have the opportunity to get off a plane and then go to Game 4. And then if they lose Game 4, then
but you still want to be there. I just want to be there. It's not even about the game. Like the game, I don't expect to even try to go. I just want to. I'll stand outside the stadium.
Oh yeah, that's what I told Hannah. I said I don't. If we go and they're in the. But I don't want to be there and the series is over and then no one's there. Like, why would I be there? If the series is still going on, then it's fun. But if it's over, then I'm just like, what am I here for?
They'll be there.
Who will?
Anybody who's there for it.
The team will be gone. This will more than likely the fans will be gone.
Fam, you go out there to the bars out there, it's going to be.
I mean, if the Dallas Cowboys have a home game, probably could get in for $5. Maybe I'll do that.
Fam, all you got to do is ring the doorbell.
They play at
you
home
just
this week.
knock. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Just stand on the grass that rolls into the stadium. Did they put the grass outside like Cardinal Stadium or no?
No.
They don't have that roll grass?
No. Only them and
Raiders.
Rams and Raiders now. Or maybe it's just Raiders. NFL picks.
Fam, Raiders, I think, knew they weren't doing a turf field when they said we play on a baseball diamond. They wanted grass. There was no way they weren't doing grass.
I used to hate that. I hated that. Watching them catch.
You know what the most exciting part about me watching Game 1 or Game 2? The fact that they didn't play on dirt. And I'm sure they were excited about it too.
Tua. Because I want to ask you, you said you had a theory on Tua starting, or why?
Oh,
and I saw what you put on Twitter, which why?
It's not my theory. I saw it on Twitter. They own Houston's #1 pick. So Houston's so bad, their record is so trash that it could end up in the top 5. So if you end up with a top 5 pick, you want to know, did the quarterback you picked last year, is he the guy? This is the theory I saw on Twitter, and it was from an NFL writer. So he was saying they could end up with a top 5 pick because their team is winning, so they're not going to have their own top 5 pick.
So you think they're going to lose with Tua?
No, I don't think they're losing on purpose, but that's...
No,
it's
not
like,
on purpose, but you think they're not going to...
Well, we don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
We know he was fired from college, but we've seen plenty of fire quarterbacks in college.
This doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand it. I don't understand him winning. You won 2 in a row. I don't understand winning and doing this. You have to be
thinking about it the wrong way.
Yes, like you're possibly hoping to accidentally be whack. Like you don't want to be whack on purpose, but like it'll work out in your favor if you just happen to be whack.
The only
that
reason
sucks.
So this
you should be banned. You should be suspended. A team should be suspended if you just suspect anything like that. And an NFL writer, even writing about that's the possibility of it, you should be extremely fined as an organization.
So here's the thing.
You shouldn't be. It sucks.
My only issue with that take is...
What do you want, Lawrence? What do they want, Lawrence or something?
No, they just want to know if he can play. I think everyone wants Lawrence #1 to begin with. I mean, I think anybody would take him.
Why do you need to know Tua needs to play now? Why?
What do you mean?
Why do you need to know if he can play now? We don't wait. You hold him out as long as you can. If you're winning, what's the point?
What do you mean?
I don't want Tua to go out there.
The goal should always be to find out whether guys can play as soon as possible.
No.
Why not? Aaron Rodgers went to Green Bay. There was a winning franchise. He went to Miami. Fam, Miami's not winning nothing.
Mahomes went to Kansas City. They
that's a winning franchise.
Yes. So he didn't need to come in when he did. Now
that's my point. Aaron Rodgers went to Green Bay, a winning franchise. He didn't have to play. Mahomes went to KC, a winning franchise. He didn't have to play.
Right.
And they didn't.
Right.
Mahomes didn't play until week 17 of his first season.
Yeah, but you're winning right now. Like
it's not a winning. There's a difference between Kansas City, Green Bay, and Miami Dolphins.
I guess. Thank you very much. But if right now, if you win 2 in a row and your quarterback is playing height, I mean
that's fine. But you're thinking about it from a different perspective. That's all I'm saying. If I don't know if that's the concern to begin with.
I hate it.
If they are trying to tank or whatever, I don't know if that's what they want to do. But I guarantee you that team does not have all the pieces to make a legit run. But if Tua's good enough and they get a left tackle or they get a wide receiver or a rush end or someone in the top 5, Fam, imagine if Houston's whack and Miami ends up with the #1 pick. Fam, imagine you could trade that for Lawrence. Fam, what? I would want year 1 this year, year 2, year 1 for the next 3 years for Lawrence, fam.
Yeah, but you're putting somebody at risk who came off crazy hip injury.
I don't know if you saw him at the end of the game. He was running well. He was moving around well.
Doing all right. I mean, he looked all right, but fam, you know how it goes out here. And we don't have to imagine if Houston's
He's
whack.
not going to play like
whack.
Kyler, fam.
Okay.
I mean,
why wouldn't he? I don't know. Fam, I wouldn't even risk it, man. Let Fitzmagic, whatever you want to call him, go out there and get tossed around.
Maybe they don't. That's the other point. Maybe they don't want to.
Patriots don't seem to be that good. Jets are trash.
The
best team in the division is
Buffalo's good.
Buffalo. That's the best team, and they might be whack now.
No, they're not.
That's 2 in a row.
You're fam.
They lost 2 games in a row.
You're on the Josh Allen train, so don't do that.
I am, but they threw 100. He only threw 120 yards against the Chiefs.
In the rain, and they had okay. Number 1, it was in the rain, and number 2, they had a top 5 defense before the Raiders put 40 on them. So let's not do that. The Raiders also the only team to eat up Carolina too. Everyone's forgetting about that.
Carolina's whack.
No, they're not. They're not whack. They're whack. They're not whack. They're not super good, but they're better than everybody thought they would be, and their defense is better than everybody thought they would be.
I don't think anybody thought Carolina was going to be bad. We just didn't know how they would be without Cam.
Man, what?
They still had the best running back in football at that moment.
Everyone thought they were going to be whack. Football people who get paid to write about football for a living thought they're going to be whack.
Why?
What do you mean?
Based off of what? Because they didn't have Cam?
Can you name a player on their team besides the quarterback and running back? Can you name a defender on their team besides
Steve
maybe
Smith?
Burns? Yeah, exactly.
Steve Smith, is he still wide receiver?
And last year, what were they? Whack. And they lost linebacker man retired at like 29 years old, 30,
that
whatever.
hurt them. Which I don't understand why their defense is as good as it is right now without him. Because he is clearly...
Oh, that's my point.
Fam, he's
what's the name? Is a Panthers fan. Mike. What's Mike's name? He was on the show with us.
Yeah, from with the Message Just a Message podcast.
Killer Mike.
Mike Lowry.
Mike Lowry, yeah. That's why I said Killer. Oh, Trigger Mike. My bad.
He's a
Carolina fan. I said, and before the game, I was like, I wasn't talking to him. I just tweeted it, but I was like Panthers by 17, and he like, ha ha. But after the game, we were talking about it, and then he was talking about some stat, and I tweeted like last week or 2 weeks ago, the only team that put anything on Carolina was the Raiders. They scored 30-some points on Carolina. Carolina's been shutting everyone down since then. So that's my point. Is like listen.
Yeah, they did.
The Raiders are 3-0 when Ruggs is active. Now, I'm not saying they would have beat New England and beat Buffalo. I'm just saying they're 3-0 when he's active. So
Raiders are better.
The only team to put something on KC is the Raiders. The only team to put something on Carolina is the Raiders. Saints, I think they got ate up by somebody else too, but there might be something there.
Yeah, thank you. It's okay. It's okay.
Relax.
It's okay to root for him.
But my point is, you said Allen, man, whatever. Fam, it was I know they're at home. It was in the rain against a top 5 pass defense.
He's going to be playing in the rain.
Relax.
He's going to be playing in the rain and snow and stuff for a long time. He better get himself together. He can't even hold the ball. 120 yards passing. Now, the Chiefs do have, a top 5 passing defense, I think? Something like that? Okay. Either way, the Buffalo defense looked crazy. The freaking Chiefs
they stink.
Ran
but see, that's
all over
That's
them.
what makes me angry is the Raiders knew they were like a bottom 5 rush defense or whatever and weren't able to do that. And the Raiders have, now granted, the Raiders had 2 injuries on the offensive line, but they have a better rush offense than KC does.
Raiders make the playoffs. They might make some noise. If you can score on people in the NFL, then you always have a shot. The Raiders are way better than you give them credit for.
I mean,
way better.
You already know I'm not going to agree with you on that, but like maybe, you never know.
Fam, they're the only team to go out there and slap the Chiefs around. Let me tell you something. What's his name? Jackson on the Ravens? Know about him, fam. He only knows how to play one way. He can't adjust like Mahomes. You know what? Watching that game last week,
they cover every single line. Even the fact that you say that, they cover every week. And their lines are always like 10.
And
they're favored by 10, and they cover it every week.
I watched that Ravens-Eagles game. I watched like majority of it, like halftime to the rest or whatever.
That was the only game they didn't cover, but they were up 16.
I watched a good amount of it, and I was like, that game, watching him play, made me say, okay, George is right about Mahomes. Like, about being better. Because like you watch Mahomes play, he can change like if it isn't working, what I usually do, I got to switch it up and figure something else out.
Right.
Jackson plays only one way. And that's the problem with Watson, too. Watson is the exact same way. If it's not working,
it wasn't his fault they lost. They should have won that game. Defense was whack, fam. They gave up a 94-yard touchdown run and the drive to tie the game and the drive in overtime.
I don't understand Ravens.
How do you give those three up? 94-yard touchdown run, then you give up a tying drive touchdown, and then overtime touchdown.
Isn't Ravens defense still pretty high?
Who?
Ravens?
Yeah, they should. I mean, fam, when we had to watch the game that day from the bar, I think Cincinnati had 6 points. I mean, and Philly scored a lot on them, but I don't know if that was turnovers.
Second half, who knows what that was? You got picks, teams? Because I didn't write them down because I have no idea with COVID what's happening. I'll be honest with you. Oh, we both went 5-9 this week. So
5-9.
Both of us.
Lord,
did.
I need to jump off a cliff.
He said not a great week. 5-9. Shout out to JC Thompson. That's the homie.
I need to jump off a cliff. Thursday, Giants at Eagles. Eagles favored by 4. Yeah, division game for you.
I hate they should disqualify our division in football. You shouldn't be allowed to make the playoffs if your entire division. We have the total of 5 wins in the entire division. We're on week 8? That should be statistically impossible. You should all accidentally have 2 wins by now, at the very least. We have the highest. We have 2 wins, and everybody else has 1. We are garbage, no? We're arguing. I'm arguing with somebody. Nah, Eagles got it. Who are we arguing? I'm not arguing with you. Fam, I guess Eagles win, I guess.
Giants cover, Eagles win. Pittsburgh -2 at Tennessee.
That's a good game.
Tennessee can't stop anyone, I don't think. So I'm going Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh wins and covers, I think.
Claypool is good. What do you play, Notre Dame?
It makes no sense. Well, I never thought he was that good. He played well against USC last year, or like whatever times I've watched him.
I didn't realize
I didn't think he'd go to the league as a rookie and do what he's doing. Like, if it was like in a couple years, okay, I get it. But
he's a lot faster than I remember him being in college, and I didn't realize
he's a giant.
I didn't even realize he was that big.
Yeah,
I was like, man, who this cat looks crazy. I'm gonna go Titans, I guess. Titans are good.
You can make an argument either way there. Their offense is good.
That's a hard pick.
Damn, they gave up like 35 to how many points did Houston score? And you hate on Deshaun every week.
You know, I was hating on Deshaun while watching the game. I looked at his stats like, God damn, he had like 4 touchdown passes.
Yeah, he scored me like 40-something fantasy points.
I was like, oh, man, I was wrong.
I wish he would run it more. You get more fantasy points for running and throwing.
I think Texans only play good against the Titans. So.
Oh, right.
The Titans
won the week before. I told you they were going to win. Lions at Falcons. Falcons 2.5-point favorite.
I guess. No, Lions.
I'm going
Lions. Lions got to. Lions were up by 14 again, and I was like, oh my God. I know they are not up by 14 again.
I didn't think they would lose, but I thought it would come back close.
I was like, they were up 17-3, I think, and I was like, look at these cats. 14 again. They lose again? What's the name? Has to get fired.
Yeah, I think Lions win outright. Browns -3 at Bengals.
Browns are done. I pick Bengals. Even though Bengals aren't that good and Burrow is kind of getting thrown around now, I think Mayfield, Baker, I think they're done. I think all that is done over. It's over now.
I think what'll help the Bengals is what's the name asked for a trade, and they may trade AJ Green, so it kind of like sets up the pecking order for the receivers. So if you know your number 1 receiver now is T. Higgins, then you could just focus on that. I'm gonna pick Bengals. I pick
Bengals.
Bengals
are going to win.
They're getting 3 points at home, so I think they cover regardless.
It's an in-state rivalry game, I guess. But I feel like if you don't even compete against the Steelers, which is another rival as well, like if you don't even compete against them.
Yeah, but I knew that would happen.
I didn't know they would get whooped that bad. Like they looked awful.
Not by 31.
Didn't Baker get benched?
He got injured, I think.
Oh, fam. No. You have to you can lose. I didn't expect
like a rib injury or something.
You can lose, but not get whooped like that. They got whooped by the Steelers.
Yeah, no, that normally happens in that game though. That's Steelers.
And if the Browns go in there and beat the Bengals, they're gonna act like they went in there and beat the Seahawks. That's how the Browns are. The Browns are weird. I can't stand the Browns, bro. I don't like any of them though. They all think they tight. Every single one of them. I looked at Landry. Landry got purple hair. OBJ got blonde hair still. Baker out here doing that dance and stuff. I hate them all. I don't like them. I think Chubbs.
I understand why Steeler fans don't like Myles Garrett, but Myles Garrett just seems like an even keel.
He's regular.
But he's a good player. He's like a regular,
extremely good.
Regular.
We could use him.
Personality, good player. But I kind of like players like that. You know what I mean? Just put your head down, do your job.
Like Khalil Mack.
Helmet swing.
I like that.
I think Khalil Mack is kind of like more out there, off the field than we know, though. Like, I don't know. And I don't mean out there like that. Don't do that. Pause. I don't mean like that. Don't do that. No, I don't mean out like that, like OBJ.
Like
I don't mean
Rose.
like that. Final 8-3 Dodgers. Let's go.
I saw that. I saw the 3.
Game.
That was quick because I just looked at it. It was like 8th.
I like it.
That's my phone just wasn't refreshed.
Dodgers up 1-0. You heard it here first.
You heard it here last.
Panthers at Saints. Saints favored by 7.5. Saints win. Panthers cover.
And Thomas comes back. He should have been back last week, but he got in trouble for fighting, and he's back.
Well, it's not the
Saints.
fighting thing. I don't know if you saw the story. They did that as a cover.
Oh, what was it?
He just thought in the organization. Like they said, he doesn't like to do anything the coaches tell him to do. He kind of on his own time, and it's not the first time he's done it.
Like that.
You got to go read the story because I don't want to like give impression wrong.
I
with
like
the listeners,
to say Michael Thomas
Keyshawn's
is the
nephew.
best.
Like I'm not surprised he's kind of a thought.
But Hopkins to me is
Thomas is the best.
That's fine, but I prefer Hopkins.
No, you don't. Thomas is the best. Thomas has a record for like every single year. Like most catches as a rookie, most catches second through 2 years,
right.
most catches through 3 years, most catches through 4 years. Bills at Jets. Bills 13-point favorite on the road. This is the one game where I won't pick the Jets, and the Jets will somehow cover.
I'm going Jets.
I hate it, but
one of these days the Jets is going to win when I pick them.
I think the Bills win by 700, but yeah. Listen, the Sharps have picked the Jets every single week. The Sharps have picked the Jets every single week to cover because in the NFL, teams just don't cover double-digit spreads. It just doesn't happen. Everyone in the public thinks like, oh, this team sucks, and then it's a 7-point game at the end or a 3-point game. So
Jets win.
I can't pick the Jets. I've picked them every single week, and I don't think they've covered once. So I don't. No, they're losing because Josh Allen is angry off that game from last week. Fam might throw for 800 yards in this game.
No, he's not.
But the Jets are so bad on defense. They just got blown out by Miami, fam, by Fitzpatrick. Get out of here.
That happens every once in a while by Fitzpatrick. And that's what happened.
He's done it 2 weeks in a row.
That's what happened with. That's why that discussion in the thread with you and Rico was because.
I told you that Niners game was a fluke. Like him blowing the Niners out was a fluke. Oh, okay. And then you saw what the Niners did last week. They smashed Green Bay.
Fluke is not Green Bay.
No. Now, I'm not saying Miami beating them is a fluke. I'm saying Miami beating them like 42-17 or whatever is a fluke.
Yes,
it is. Don't do that. Yes, it is. Don't do that. Yes, it is.
Because Fitzpatrick does that at least 2-3 times a year.
Don't act like he's good.
Fam, what are you talking about? The very first game last year with the Buccaneers, with the Buccaneers last year, I think it was
2 years ago. But yeah, they did it to the Saints.
And then they lost like the next 6 in a row, and they were like trash. And didn't make the playoffs.
That's exactly my point. So don't do that with Fitzpatrick thinking he's good. He's not. His career is terrible.
I didn't say he's good. I said he's good.
Or I shouldn't say it's terrible. It's manageable.
It's not a fluke. It just you're gonna get that.
Them beating Miami Dolphins going on the road to 49ers and winning by 30 is a fluke. What are you talking about?
The Niners beating the Rams last week is a fluke. Actually, you know what? I don't know anything about the Rams and the Niners anymore.
It's not a fluke.
Those teams are the most mysterious teams this year. I hate this NFL season.
No,
the Niners are whack and the Niners are good. The Rams are whack and the Rams are good.
I predicted that to happen on the show and on my pick'em after the Dolphins did whatever. No, whatever. If you get it right in the pick'em, you get it right. 49ers that was the first time they've been a home dog to the Rams in I don't know how many years. Everyone's like, okay, when you see someone who you perceive from the very beginning of the year, unless crazy stuff has happened, is the better team, is getting points at home, Vegas is telling you who to bet on. Bet the Niners. They're telling you who to bet on because then there's no way the Rams are better on the road than the Niners to the point where they're laying points. I knew that was going to happen. I called it out. The Miami Dolphins beating them by 30 is a fluke. Not saying the Miami Dolphins just beating them. Like if they kick a field goal or score a touchdown, win, whatever. Beating them by 30 on the road. Fam, Miami is terrible.
Okay.
Come on. Let's be honest. You would not be surprised if they finished 3-13. If Fitzpatrick stayed the starter.
That's a historic thing.
If he stayed the starter. I'm not even talking about with Tua.
That's fine. That's a historic thing. That's like saying that about the Cardinals.
You wouldn't be surprised?
No, of course I wouldn't because historically they're trash.
I was absolutely right about when Andy and Rico were talking about 5-0, and me and you were laughing. I was right.
Of course.
They lost 2 in a row and looked awful. Now all of a sudden, what? They've won 3 in a row since then? That doesn't make no sense.
Stop with the Cardinals. You know what? What's the next game?
Did it make any sense to you?
Fam, the Cardinals have beat a weird Niners team, the Cowboys, the Jets, and what? Lions?
Yeah, but when was the last time the Cardinals went in the 10 a.m. time slot on the East Coast and beat a team?
That's
like
always been an issue. You're right. That was yeah, of course. Like
so it's legit.
I would always out of 10 times
I get that
9
it's
out of 10 I pick
but still.
Jets. Yeah,
still.
But fam,
you get credit when you travel across the country in a time slot that's in the morning for your body clock and win like that. They blew the Jets' doors off.
Blew them out.
Cowboys at Washington football team.
Washington football. I hate the Cowboys. Man. The Cowboys are an embarrassment to football.
Who did Washington play last week?
They almost won. They lost by 1 against Giants.
Right.
Fam, the Cowboys.
I gotta pick Dallas.
This Cowboys team is the worst Cowboys team I've seen in the last 25 years. I'm not even joking. This might be the worst defense in NFL history. Did you see that stat they put up? The Cowboys.
I slept through the whole game.
The Cowboys have allowed the most points over the first 7 weeks. They're number 4 in NFL history.
Oh, yeah.
The other teams like 1954, 1948, 1950. I was like, and it's in 2020, Dallas Cowboys. Now, you might be right about McCarthy, okay? Like, I think, you know what it is? You think of a coach with a Super Bowl and a big name. When you're a Cowboys fan, you just feel like, finally, we got somebody. But it's a nobody.
Well, you had to get rid of Garrett, but Garrett should have been gone 5 years ago.
But you know what? Garrett should have been gone 5 years ago. But I was begging for Garrett to be our head coach. All Dallas Cowboys fans, because we thought he was next. We thought he was next.
Yeah, back then.
Fam.
Everyone should get a well, okay, I shouldn't say everyone should get a turn, but when it's obvious, you should get a turn. But if it's proven that you, like Lane Kiffin, this is my greatest example. Lane Kiffin, Sarkisian, Norv Turner, everyone thinks like, oh, they earn their stripes, they need to be head coach. No, fam, for some people, your top job you should ever have is a coordinator.
Always.
I tweeted that earlier about, what's Jets' old coach name? He's a defensive coordinator. Now he's with Tampa Bay.
He was with Cardinals. What's his name? Black dude.
Yes, previous Jets coach. And I kind of worded that poorly after I wrote it. I was thinking, like, hope no one thinks this is like, I'm saying this racist. Like, he don't deserve a head coaching job. Some people just,
you're just good at it.
Now, he took Tampa Bay from like, I think they said worse than the league before he got there. Then last year was his first year back in Tampa Bay. They went to 6, and this year they're number 1 defense. If you do that, you've proven you're the top of the line defensive coordinator. So just pay that guy like a head coach. But don't give him a head coaching gig. Just give him the pay of a head coach. That's like, if you're that good, that's what I would do. My franchise, I would be like, fam, we're paying our coordinators here like head coaches. It just is what it is.
The Cowboys play like children. Like, I was watching them from all kinds.
Yeah, they play like the Cleveland Browns.
When they play
like an old Browns team.
When the camera like panned out and you could see the entire field on replay, and Kyler had the ball, I was like, wait a minute. If Kyler decides to run, he can go anywhere. There was no linebacker in the picture. There was nobody. Some of the DBs literally looked like, it looked like he's not throwing it to the side. I'm just going to stand here. They were flat-footed, like standing there like this. They couldn't even move quick enough. Once the ball was in the air, you have to, a football gets from the quarterback to down the field in like 2 seconds. You can't regain your speed as a DB if you standing there like this. Watch it. If you not move, you're not chasing it, you're not. Fam, that the Cowboys team is off. Our linebackers are the Van Der Esch. I love to say he's good. He's not good. I don't care. He's not good. He's not good. Sean Lee hasn't been good since like his rookie year and the first 2 years after that. Jalen Smith, he isn't good. He has no ACLs, whatever is in his legs.
I thought he was good.
Fam, he sucks. He's slow. He is so slow. I've seen him trying his hardest too. I've never seen somebody try so hard to go chase Kyler. It's like, don't even chase him. No. He couldn't even spy on him correctly.
That time 6'9" ran with that.
Fam.
with that AK-47. I see people run slow.
The Dallas Cowboys bite on every single move. You just like wave your arm this way, the entire defense flew, and they just going. Kyler Murray threw 24 passes, completed 9.
Oh yeah.
Andy Dalton threw 54 passes. Fam, how do you throw that many passes and don't even get 300 yards, if that? Fam, give Dak $750 million, dude. Dak deserves every single penny, because you know what?
You need to give some money to the defense.
Dak makes up literally every single thing that we can't do on the team. everything. Ezekiel Elliott. Incredibly bad.
What they should have done is probably not pick a wide receiver in the first round. I understand why they did it, but you already got 2 basically first round wide receivers on the team.
Fam, Amari Cooper's football game is just like his voice. It's nowhere to be found. All right,
that's not true.
Rare. Oh, he comes out in the third quarter. You'd be like, oh shoot, there he is doing a curl route.
He's just like one game off, one game super good.
It's way too inconsistent. Gallup,
but you can do that though.
Gallup 1 week, I'm like, yo, he needs to be our number 1. Next week, can't even catch the ball. All right,
you've been a little bit too hard on them. Pause.
What? I'm being hard on them.
Dak threw for like 400 yards every week.
Yes.
Okay, so then if CeeDee Lamb, so then pick him and then trade one of the other ones for a first round pick, so you get the net of a first round pick.
Look, man,
you don't need all them receivers and your defense that bad.
I think we have the highest paid running back in football. I think still Zeke. Zeke is whack. And now you look in hindsight, you're like, boy, sure wish you got Jalen Ramsey that year, but he probably wouldn't be on the team either. I don't even care. It doesn't even matter.
Well, the Cowboys just re-signed Byron Jones.
Fam, facts. He was our best defender. The Dallas Cowboys are awful. I don't know how come we have no chance of ever getting. We didn't get Jamal Adams. We didn't even get Earl Thomas.
No one wants him. That's why.
The Cowboys.
He's a free agent and he's like 30 years old and he's not on a roster. All right.
I hope we lose all of them.
Picks, fam.
What I pick? Skins. I got Redskins or DMV.
It's a pick, which means the line is 0. So I'm just gonna go Dallas because they can't be this bad.
Don't do it.
They can't be this bad this many years in a row.
No, don't do it.
Packers -3.5 at Texans. I know you picking Packers because you hate the Texans.
I don't know, man. Packers got kind of slapped around against Buccaneers.
Yeah, but that's just the NFL. 1 week they'll lose by 30. Next week they'll blow someone out.
I pick Packers.
Packers gonna win. Texans gonna cover. Seahawks -3.5 at Cardinals.
I hope the Cardinals. I hope Seattle wins by $7 billion, but they're not because their defense is the worst in the league.
They're right. Well, Dallas probably is, but
they are. Whack. I think Seattle's the worst defense in the league and the number 1 offense in the league.
See, but here's the thing: Cardinals are flying high. Seattle had a bye. I'm gonna go Seattle wins. I think Cardinals cover.
Wait.
Like late TD.
Where's it at?
Here.
Oh.
Seattle had a bye last week. Cardinals flying high after beating Dallas when Dallas really not that good of a team. You already know how this goes in the NFL, fam.
I hate Cardinals fans. Them cats is high.
Seattle will be up 10, and the Cardinals will like score late to make it 3, and then Cardinals will cover.
Fam, I was this close to betting some sneakers on that Cowboys game, and I said,
I'm glad you didn't.
No, I'm never betting again in my life. I'm wearing an Astros jersey with a Dodgers hat right now. I'm never betting anymore.
Now you got to wear that the rest of the series, fam. That's good luck.
Oh, you might be right.
Yeah, you got to wear that same fit.
Good luck. Game 1.
49ers at Patriots. Patriots -2.5. I'm glad you finally realized that I was right about Skizam. He stinks.
I mean, come on. That was his first game back after having COVID. Like, can we give him a break?
Okay, all right. I could see that just because who knows what COVID did to his body, even though he may have been.
I mean, we're talking about the Niners here. Would you be shocked if the Niners lost by 35? Nope.
Maybe because we know the Patriots are not a good team. Like they have so many of their roster opted out. They had like 8 guys who like potential starters opt out, something like that. And obviously they lost Brady.
See,
and
but
they
Cam is one of those players that can make up for a lot of that stuff that you're missing as well.
Denver Broncos at home, and Denver is awful. Now maybe Denver's defense is okay. Their offense is atrocious.
Fam.
They lost what's the name for the season before I think he even played a game, or maybe he played one week. Well, they lost Miller, but I'm talking about the receiver. Sutton or whatever, who led the team receiving last year. Now, they picked Judy, but he ain't going to carry him by himself.
No.
He's a rookie. I'm picking Niners to win, I think, just because
Patriots got to win.
And Kyle Shanahan is mad about that 28-3.
Yeah, but I'm sure Bill Belichick is much more madder than Shanahan.
Maybe. KC at Denver -9.5. KC wins, Broncos cover. I'm going to say that one quick because I know.
Wait, where's it at?
At Broncos. Broncos cover the 9.5. Kansas City wins.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and pick Denver. I don't believe it.
Drew Lock is terrible. You don't want to.
I don't believe it, but I'm going to go ahead and pick Denver.
They were trying to run the clock
based off their defense
inside of 5 minutes, and he threw 2 picks.
Oh, no, I changed this.
First down,
I changed it.
One on first down.
I'm going to go Denver.
And then a triple coverage.
It's a rivalry game. A rivalry game, sort of.
Well, that's why I said they're going to cover, but they're not going to win.
I think I'm going to go Denver.
Jags at Chargers. Somehow Chargers are -8. They shouldn't be -8 over a college team, but
fam. What's his name is really good, Hubert, whatever, but he's getting tossed up. All right. Every time I pick the Chargers, they lose, even though they play good. And every time we don't pick the Jags, they win.
Chargers win, Jags cover.
All right, Jags win.
Buccaneers -3 at Raiders. Sunday night football.
Raiders win. Raiders win that one easily against the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are accident. I can't understand them either. I can't tell if they're good or whack.
Yeah, they do it every week. I'm gonna say Bucks win just so I have the reverse jinx. Raiders cover the 3. Bucks win.
Fam, I can't tell if the Rams are good, the Niners are good, the Buccaneers are good, the Patriots are good.
Yeah, the entire league. I get it.
The Raiders, I can look and be like, the offense is good.
The offense is good. Yes.
I just can't. I can't put my thumb on it. I can't tell if the Cowboys don't want to play football. I can't tell anything. I can't tell if the Ravens are good.
This battery about to die. I know we got to hurry up.
Oh, really?
This battery only got 1 bar left.
Uh-oh.
Bears at Rams. There's no line right now. I'm picking the Rams. The Bears are the biggest 5-1 or whatever fraud in NFL history. 4-1, 5-1, whatever they are.
Bears are winning.
Bears are a fraud. All right, lists.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, we got to get out of here.
Top 10 non-Nike / Adidas sneakers in 2020 to us.
Let's just do these quick, too, because no one really is going to care about this list anyway.
You want to go first? I'm going to mention
I got no honorable mentions.
All right. I'm going to go first then. My top, all 10.
And I know the one that I have number 10, you have way higher, but at least I put it on here, so
we'll see.
I guarantee you.
Okay, I'm interested.
It matches.
I'm curious.
Well, the best colorway to me matches the hat you have on, but they made 4 colorways.
Oh, you're not talking about what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
my number 1, you're not going to agree with it. So, number 10, I got the Puma Dreamer J. Cole low. I guess that's the mint one.
It's on my list.
I guess
10's too low. I think.
I think 10. It might have been an honorable mention. It's kind of faded away.
Nah,
it's
that doesn't matter though. It's just it's a good shoe or not.
Pizzazz.
I don't care about the pizzazz. I care about what's a good shoe. The shoe is great. I just think they made the sizes off. Like I put it on my foot, a 12, fam. It does not even close to fit.
That's a Puma thing.
Like it barely. No. The 12 on the one I have, RSX, fits perfectly to size.
The RSX fit big on me. Like I should have got a 9.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, so there you go. Even more. The golf shoe was like, fam, how is this? They don't make a 12.5, and a 12 doesn't fit. What is this?
Number 9, I got Asics Gel like Nandi 360 camos.
What's that?
The Nandi 360. You'd have to see. You saw it. You know what it is. I like those a lot. Shout out to Mike from the camp out. He's the one that put me under those. Like every time I see him post a picture of those,
honestly,
joints are fire.
Bembury shoe probably should go on here. It just hasn't come out yet, so I didn't put it on here.
Number 8, I got the New Balance 992 Kith Blue Steel.
Yeah,
that one is the best of all the 992s.
It's on my list.
Oh, okay. So you never talk about that one.
I tried to buy it, but it was like impossible unless you did the sock jig.
And now it's like $800.
No, fam, it was like $800-900 from when it first dropped. People were paying that much.
Number 7, I got the Saucony Grid, the Asura 2000 Ever Ready.
You put a Saucony on? Dang,
that's the only Saucony that I like.
This.
That's the greatest Saucony in Saucony history.
The one with the see-through?
That's the one that you always see with the tiger stripes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the greatest Saucony in the history of Saucony.
I don't think it's top 10, but the model is good.
This colorway is the best one with the gray. I like the tiger one. I like the blue one.
I sent you the one that was like
you sent me a
rainbow
few colors.
color or whatever. That one was fire.
That's fire. Number 6, I got the New Balance 327 Casablanca Orange. I love that shoe. I know you hate it, but that Casablanca Orange one is fire. And the materials on that,
I'm not commenting.
Definitely made in Italy. Number 5.
Italy, yes, next to Warren Lotus.
Number 5. Safe factory. Number 5, I got Asics Gel Light 35. The black one you got me. What is it? Pink toe, salmon toe, rose toe.
If that's not on someone's top 10 list, they're lying to themselves.
Number 4, I got our Reebok Legacy Leathers. Sorry, them joints is fire. I haven't worn mine yet, but the blue. I got the colorway. Number 3, I got Vans Paisley Greens. Joints is my favorite.
Any of the colors.
Any of them.
The blue's better.
Number 2, I got the New Balance 550 Emilion Dior.
Oh, I didn't put those on my list, but I understand why. When I saw the toe box from like the top, I was like, why'd they do a basketball shoe with that toe box? It looks weird. It looks like a 998 toe box.
I feel like that makes it wearable. That's why I was like, okay,
that's
I like
the only one thing I don't like about it.
I think that's the best part. I think that's why I like that shoe. Is unbelievable.
It is. It's great, and I'm sure they use good materials too. I haven't seen it in person, but I'm sure they use like premium leather. It's a New Balance, and it's a collab, and it's Amy Leon Dore.
And my
they can kiss my ding dong, but.
And I'm still gonna call my hat because you said call my hat, but I know you don't have this on your list.
No, your thing that I thought was number 1, you put 3. Where'd you have Paisley's at?
Paisley's at 3,
or not? No. Number 1, I thought you were gonna have Legacies.
Oh no, that's 4. I haven't worn yet.
But I was talking about Paisley Vans when I said that comment.
I don't know why you don't have Paisley Vans. I don't know which.
I probably should have brought the black ones. Since that black one was. I'm surprised you didn't put that on there.
Oh, the black one?
The W taps. Double taps, sorry.
Yeah, you got me feeling weird about the sole and stuff. Now, every time I look at it, like, it looks like it's about to fall off the top. It looked like the top about to fall off.
They molded it crazy.
I was like, it looked like the top is sinking into like white foam. I was like, what does it look like this? It looked like somebody smashed it. That's what it looked like, a car ran over it.
Yes, it looked.
Number one, fam, whatever y'all say, whatever. I got Saya Culture Vultures, man.
Oh, I didn't know you were gonna do stuff like that, but okay.
Not Nike, not Adidas. I'm sorry. It's still my favorite sneaker of the year. Like, I love it. It's underrated. New
It's a
model.
good shoe. It's a good.
I love it.
When you brought it in here, it's a good shoe. It's not on my list.
And I got it at number
one.
I got it at number one because most of these I have, like, Gel 3s. Like, come on, I have like a few Gel 3s. Like Reebok, like Vans, like going with.
I put the Paisley Vans at number 10. I put blue because of the Dodgers game, obviously. I mean, that was kind of my connection. But obviously, it's a crip shoe too, so. Number 9, you didn't put this one on there, and I actually, when I had the monitor and it was working, had this in the cart quicker than like before it was even announced that it was dropped. It was a Kith Strike, the Rose 990 V2 Rose, the like super light.
Oh yeah, that one's fire.
And
I thought about that.
No
one,
one knew if it was a collab or just like. So what I've learned afterwards is I think it was just that New Balance program where you can like Packer just came out with the 992.
Oh yeah,
they had there.
Okay.
So like New Balance has that whatever program where it's like not really a collab shoe, but you can
I forgot what it's called.
Build it and then just make it as a collab.
New Balance for you, whatever
it
is or something.
So Kith did the Rose, and I had an 11.5 in the cart, and I was going to. It was like at the house getting ready to go to work, and I was like, "Oh shite, Kith Strike!" And I was like, "Wait, this isn't a collab." So I removed it from the cart, didn't check out, and I would like text a sock, and I was like, "Yo, should I have bought that?" And he was like, "Never ever take a Kith shoe out of your cart when you if it's a Kith Strike or whatever." I was like, oh, oops.
Joints are fire too.
Number 8,
I kept it though. It's a keep shoe.
It depends. Yeah, I mean, I would have to like seen it in person, and also I don't know what prices are. I mean, I know it's like at one point it was $500 or $600 or something, which is a lot for that shoe, but I'm sure the materials are just stupid premium. I mean, number 8. The Sean Wotherspoon Atmos Gel Light 3. I just put that on there because I liked what they did with the ASICS logo, where you could change the swatches and stuff.
I thought about putting those on.
The shoe you didn't put on there, I thought you would. New Balance 1700 Kith Colorist Pink Toe, light, super light blue, pink toe. They did 2 colorways. They did that one, and they did the other one that's like royal blue with something. And then they had all the clothes on that hanger, on that rack.
Those are fire. That was what, number 7?
Yeah, 7. Number 6 is New Balance 992 Kith Spring 2, the same one you were talking about. What'd you call it? Blue Steel or whatever.
Steel blue,
so what I saw on StockX just said Spring 2, so that's what I put on there. But number 5, Puma RS Dreamer J. Cole. Pick a color. I like the white one better.
Too high.
Nah, it deserves it. You probably gonna be mad about this because you're gonna say, well, it technically came out 2 years ago, but they did the collab again with the Patchwork Vans.
I thought about putting.
So number 4, Patchwork Vans size collab factory floor,
and I'm buying those like
the size 12 is not bad. It was only like 210. I think
190. So I had 190.
Yeah, I don't mind paying.
I just don't want to. I want to pay 190. Like I don't want to get the cart and then it'd be like what 227 when I leave. Like no. I'll never pay 200 for a van. Never. I'll never pay 100. I don't think I want to pay 150 for a van.
No, but regular price was like shipped was what did Simple say 120?
No, 110.
So, I mean, no.
He said it came out to 110. Once conversion, he said it was 110.
I don't think so. I think it's look at that text again. I think it was closer to 119. But either way, if it's 119 and you pay 190 or 210, I mean that's not that far away. We've done worse.
Not for a van.
Yeah, but you just look at it like another shoe. It is what it is. I mean, you just paid $195 for Olive Ultra Boost 1.0, and you don't even really care about that shoe. Like at first we did, but you don't even care about it. Let's be honest. Number 3, New Balance 992 JJ Jown, whatever, green. Kanye Best Friend Montreal Man.
You got a lot of 992s on here.
2.
You got 3.
No, 2. The pink. The Kith Strike Rose is 990 V2.
Oh, okay.
It's the same model as that Amy Leon Dore shoe that came out last year that I want with the old lady in the what is it called?
I thought those were whack,
or whatever.
Fire,
you smoking them?
I thought they were whack at first.
Somebody had them on. One of our listeners had them on, but it's somebody who always talks to us.
Legend,
not Dave. The other Dave, I think.
Dave Smithwood.
Yep.
No one is gonna know what that means on this podcast.
You right. David Walker. Not David Blackman, David Walker. So he had him on the thing, and I commented on it. I just like, I hate you. But those didn't come out in 2019. They didn't come out in 20. They came out in 19, or they've been my number one on the list by far. Number 2, Asics Gel Light 3, Ronnie Feig Tokyo Trio 252.1.
The longest name on earth.
I think the one that we got with the black and the pink toe is probably like the most plush looking one. But if you had all 3 and we're like, which one do you want? I think I would take Yoshino Rose over that one. But I think the other one is like the most plush looking one. The one we got.
That
252.1 or whatever.
black one is fire. You still got the black?
Yeah.
You got to keep
I'm going to
that.
sell it at some point, but I won't ever wear it. So that's the thing.
You know,
if that becomes a $350 or $400 shoe and I can get something else that I like better for the same price, I'm just going to do that.
It's just so hard to get kids shoes now. Like kids collabs.
Hard to get that.
Huh?
It wasn't hard to get that.
Yeah, you got A1.
Well, not the Yoshino Rose, or I might have kept that one. And number 1, everyone's going to be mad at me for this. I don't care. Reebok Classic, Leather Legacy, Pleasures Collab, or
way
fam.
too high.
I don't care. I've been on the bandwagon, so either the blue one that we got or the Pleasures Collab. I got both of them.
I'll tell you, it started up there, and I was like, because I was really trying to where I wanted to put Saya, but I wear my Sayas often, like all the time, and I like them, and it's one of the like 3 on here that are a new model.
I'm just trying to get Leather Legacy some love because they need love, fam.
They do.
Shoes,
but you know what they need? They need to go on discount. That's what they need.
They do.
All right, because I looked on StockX. I didn't realize so many were on StockX. And some of them are like, oh, dang, 66. And then you get to cart and check out, they're 91
or something.
I'm like, okay. I'm like, I can't win with these.
Longest show in history.
This one? Is it?
It's after 9.
Okay. All right. Well,
at least the Dodgers won. If it was this long and the Dodgers lost, then I would go home.
Oh, man, everyone's going to hate this episode anyway, so I don't care.
They're going to hate the beginning. The rest of it I thought was pretty good.
They're going to hate baseball talk. They're going to hate it. Oh,
nah.
You're just fine.
Nah,
I don't care, man. Like, subscribe.
Dodgers win. If you hate baseball, you can lick my taint.
That's disgusting. That word is gross. The taint. I
think there's a worse way you can say
it. I saw a diagram. I was like, ew.
A diagram.
I had like a bar, like, anyways.
Yeah.
Hey, you got anything else? All right, that's the thing. Appreciate the hats, appreciate the sneakers.
Yes, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Very, very much. I appreciate
Go Dodgers.
Let's sneak this. Bye, 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 bye.